qualified by winning their respective pools. Cheney, the victors in Pool B. Great Bend emerged out of Pool D. And then after our game tonight, it will be the Austin, Texas Shockers and the Mulvane Patriots in the other pool play matchup to decide who moves on to the championship week. Brad, you've been around this tournament for a long time, not only this year, but many years in the past. You've seen a lot of baseball here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. What has stood out to you about this year's edition of the NBC World Series? What has stood out to you about the play that has taken place on the field here at Lawrence Dumont?
I think it may not be necessarily so much the play. It's actually the way that these teams have actually come together and have had a chance to talk with some of the managers and really see how this is kind of a little bit more of a transition away from some of the corporate-owned entities that we've known in the past, whether it happens to be with back in the years with Boeing or even some of the Prairie Gravel from years past. So some of those teams that you tend to get a little bit more familiar with, I think we're starting to see more of a move towards those family-owned teams. So you see that going on with the Black Sox coming in from Hattiesburg. And you also see that same story along the same lines from what you're seeing in Great Bend with the Batcats. You also see the dreams of somebody like Casey Walkup wanting to bring together a league and give some other options to some of the kids that are around here as far as an option to the Jayhawk. And that's where the Sunflower Collegiate League came from. So as we start to see all of that come together, I'm really intrigued by the way you see a lot of guys who have played the game and have had that dream and have wanted to see those teams come together and those leagues come together and have an opportunity to play here in this showcase.
A lot of interesting stories that we will get to as the night goes on, but right now we'll go ahead and take a quick break as they get ready for the national anthem. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
When you think e-graphics at 220 South Washington in Wichita, do you think of some of the highest quality vehicle window tinting in South Central Kansas? You should. And right now, mention this radio ad and e-graphics and get 30% off your vehicle's window tinting. Imagine cutting 99% of harmful UV rays. You can save the interior of your vehicle and your skin from sun damage. And you don't have to get into a hot car on a summer day. E-graphics window tinting with a lifetime warranty, 262-8468.
If you're farming today, you know all about taking risks. Well, here's one risk you don't have to take anymore. The risk of IDID, or internal diesel injector deposits. Because now Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster Premium Diesel Fuel has an advanced injection stabilizer to prevent IDID. So you don't have to risk injector failure, clogged filters, and downtime anymore. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster is even backed by a 10-year, 10,000-hour warranty for even less risk.
In our Kansas City, Kansas, and Newkirk, Oklahoma, Two Rivers Co-op.
With over 20 years of tire and wheel experience, Wichita Tire and Alignment offers name brand tires, wheels, and auto repair services, including alignments, balancing, brakes, struts, and shock absorber work. Great customer service and great prices are our highest priority. We employ a well-trained staff specializing in the sale and installation of passenger car, performance and light truck, or SUV tires. Special tire size requests are welcome. Call us at 522-2919 or visit us at 4460 South Seneca in Wichita. We are Wichita's full-service tire center. Call Chris at Wichita Tire and Alignment.
This is a Steckline Communications station, K273CX, FM 102.5, and AM 1480 KQAM. Wichita proud.
Hot mic.
The Great Bend Batcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs ready to do battle out here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium in a matchup between the Pool D winner and the Pool B winner. Both these teams 3-0 in pool play action. Let's go ahead and get down to the starting lineups. First, we'll take a look at the visitors from Cheney. The Diamond Dogs bring in a record of 26-8, qualifying out of the Sunflower Collegiate League. They will lead off with the third baseman, Phil Ingram. Batting second, the second baseman is Grant DeVore. Quentin Crandall will play shortstop and bat third. Wyatt Divis, the designated hitter, he's in the cleanup spot. Tristan Kennard is in left field batting fifth. Dallas Reed plays right field hitting sixth. Scott Hastings at first base bats seventh. Josh Whistler will do the catching and hitting eighth. And Travis Young, a Wichita State product, will round out the lineup batting ninth in center field. On the mound tonight for the Cheney Diamond Dogs will be right-hander Max Simpson. For the Great Bend Batcats, with a record of 23-19 out of the Jayhawk League, they'll lead off with the second baseman Peyton Barnes. Benjamin Sims, the shortstop, bats second. Corrigan Bartlett is in center field hitting third. Hunter Romero will clean up and play first base. Brendan Fontenot, the designated hitter, batting fifth. Jordan Wilkerson is in right field hitting sixth. Brooke Asher does the catching. He'll bat seventh. Dawson Pomeroy at third base hitting eighth. And Brady Michael rounds it out for the Batcats, batting ninth in left field. On the mound for Great Bend will be right-hander Jungju Kim, 6'1", 215 pounds from Seoul, Korea, who will be making his first appearance in this NBC World Series. Kim from the University of the Ozarks, a Division III college in Clarksville, Arkansas. And the right-hander will be facing Phil Ingram, Grant DeVore, and Quentin Crandall. And Brad, for all the talk we had about local teams, local players, local stories, it is kind of interesting to see a guy making his way from Seoul, Korea to get the start tonight for Great Bend.
Well, and very interestingly enough, talking with Roger Ward, the manager, a little bit earlier, said that he was on a mission first part of the year to find some place to go to school in the United States, or it was time to go back to Seoul and come up with a plan B. Fortunate enough, he was able to find something that would work right here in the middle of America, so that's really kind of special.
Special indeed, and a very cool story to see Kim out there on the mound for the Batcats. Great Bend wearing green tops tonight with the Batcats across the front. Blue numerals over white pants. Valley Center in the black tops over white pants. And the first pitch misses up and inside to Phil Ingram to get us underway, and it's 1 ball and no strikes on the Diamond Dogs' third baseman. Ingram swings it from the left side. He'll be followed by Grant DeVore and Quentin Crandall here in the top of the first inning. And there's a strike from Kim. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count to Ingram. He's been all over the base pass in this NBC World Series. Just 1 for 3, but he has walked 5 times and scored 3 runs. And he takes down an inside from Kim, 2 balls and a strike. Jungju Kim at the University of the Ozarks, 6 appearances, all starts as a freshman, went 2-3 with a 6.48 ERA. And his pitch is swung on and skied out into shallow left field. Michael, drifting in a couple of steps, settles under it and makes the catch to put away Ingram for our first out here in the top half of the first inning. Our first pitch came at 7:02 p.m. Central Standard Time. Our first pitch temperature, 91 degrees here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. Grant DeVore will stand in now from the right side. Longtime Diamond Dogs player, has had a good tournament so far, 4 for 8, has scored 4 runs and driven home 3. And he's first pitch swinging, lines it right at the second baseman Barnes, who leaves his feet to make the catch. A good swing by DeVore, but nothing to show for it, and it's 2 up, 2 down.
Nice job by Barnes just anticipating that ball, but not jumping too soon. Seen a couple of instances so far during this tournament where you've had guys that have misjudged the ball and not knowing if it's because of the backdrop or just because of maybe just playing on that bigger field.
Barnes able to squeeze it. Kim has set down the first 2 men that he's faced. Now he deals a strike on the outside corner to Quentin Crandall. The shortstop batting in the 3-hole for Cheney tonight. Plays his college ball at Kansas State. His opposing shortstop, Benjamin Sims, plays at Kansas. So we've got a little Big 12 rivalry going on as Kim misses up and away, and it's a ball and a strike. Kim working out of the full windup, right in the middle of the rubber. Kicks and deals, and it's down and outside. A backhand stop by his catcher, Asher. 2 balls and a strike. It goes Michael, Bartlett, Wilkerson from left to right in the outfield for Great Bend. Pomeroy, Sims, Barnes, and Romero around the horn on the infield. Fastball misses upstairs. 3 balls and a strike now to Crandall. Wyatt Divis to follow should this inning continue. No score, just underway. Top half of the first inning. Kim's 3-1 offering. Cut on and missed. Big swing by Crandall, but he comes up empty. And that runs it full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kim, despite the unsightly ERA for the Ozarks Eagles, did strike out 41 in 33 1/3 innings, so he's got good stuff. His 3-2 is looped foul off to the right side and out of play, and we'll do it again. Command was not the issue. Kim, in addition to those 41 strikeouts, only walked 8, but he allowed 41 hits, well over a hit per inning. He's ready once again, the 3-2. Swing and a miss, pitch on the outside corner.
For 6 generations, this land has provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/clean energy.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, head to visitwichita.com for all there is to see and do.
Hey, sir,
Love you, Coach. Thank you.
Inning tossed up by Jungju Kim in the top half of this frame.
Really impressed with what we saw from Kim a little bit earlier, and he has more of a, as opposed to an, I don't necessarily want to call it an Asian windup or an Asian delivery, but he has a little bit more of an Americanized delivery to the plate, where he has a little bit more of things coming right towards the plate as opposed to back and forth, rocking back and forth between first and third. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but there are some guys that you just see just a totally different approach as far as the pitching is concerned.
You will see a lot of Korean or Japanese pitchers with a lot of hesitations in the windup, but not really the case with Kim, as Max Simpson deals up and away to Barnes, 1 ball and no strikes. And speaking of interesting windups, it's not often you'll see a starter who works exclusively out of the stretch, but that is what Simpson does, and he delivers from a low 3/4 arm slot, maybe even straight sidearm, as his next offering is cut on and fouled back to the screen by Barnes. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on the Great Bend second baseman. Righty, lefty, righty due up in the frame for the Batcats with Barnes, Sims, and Bartlett. Simpson works off the extreme first base side of the rubber, brings his hands to a set and deals a 1-1. Bounced out towards second base. It's right at DeVore, who gets a nice, easy shoulder-high hop and is tossed to first. Retires Barnes. It's 1 up and 1 down for the Batcats here in the bottom half of the first inning.
You can see how that delivery coming off the mound for Simpson really just kind of changes you up just a little bit. And I don't know if it's so much his delivery or if it's so much the fact that he's got flag pants out there.
That very well may play a factor. Let's not rule anything out.
Of course not.
So now it's Benjamin Sims. He takes a fastball in the outside corner for a called strike 1. It's Kennard, Young, and Reed from left to right in the outfield for Cheney. Ingram, Crandall, DeVore, and Hastings around the horn on the infield. Josh Whistler does the catching. Little tapper out towards shortstop, fielded by Crandall. The throw on the run, and the K-State shortstop retires his KU shortstop counterpart. Sims is out 6-3, and we are still looking for our first base runner as Simpson has set down the first 2 that he's faced.
It's going to be really important for Simpson to make sure he continues to mix pitch speeds and locations. Usually with sidearm pitchers, it's a little bit easier to get them the second time around.
Corrigan Bartlett now in from the right side, and he takes a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. You don't see many starters who work from this kind of an arm slot. Typically it is used just once through an order, maybe even just for 1 or 2 right-handed hitters. Simpson winds and fires. Bouncing ball is foul, and it's 0-2 on Bartlett. No score, bottom half of the first inning. Cheney Diamond Dogs and the Great Bend Batcats. Infield playing Bartlett a little bit to the pull side. DeVore, the second baseman, shaded towards the second base bag and deep. And it's a swing and a miss. Slider working to the outside portion of the plate. And
Kansas Gas Service delivers natural gas to many of the companies you know, ensuring they have the energy they need to grow and build strong communities, providing cost-effective, safe, and reliable natural gas for a better tomorrow today. Kansas Gas Service.
For every celebration, for every 6 a.m. wake-up call, for every heartache, for every homecoming, for every home, there is York. Environmentally responsible and technologically advanced to provide the optimal home environment while keeping you connected. Life by you, comfort by York.
Reed, 4, 5, and 6 due up for Cheney as we move into the top half of the second here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. No score, but Divis trying to change that. Drives it into left field, and it's going to be in for a base hit in front of the charging Michael. A leadoff single for Divis, and our game's first base runner comes on the first pitch in the top half of the second inning. That'll get Tristan Kennard to the plate, and this guy has been absolutely white hot through the first 3 games of this tournament. 5 for 10 with a home run and 10 RBI. Not the guy that Kim wanted to face with a man aboard. Kick and the pitch is a fastball in the outside corner to Kennard. No balls and a strike. On the 6-foot, 205-pounder from Odessa College. Kim comes to a very high shoulder set. Kennard now squares to bunt. He bunts through it, or foul tips it into the mid of Asher, and it's 0-2. So the guy with 10 RBI through 3 games, squaring to bunt, and he's unable to get the sacrifice down. We'll see if Pat Hahn keeps it on with 2 strikes. Divis, the runner aboard at first base, not a particularly fleet of foot youngster, as a fastball misses upstairs to Kennard, and it's 1-2. Typically, this Diamond Dogs team very aggressive on the base pass. That's always been part of their MO. And this year, no exception. Stole 71 bases in 80 attempts. Ground ball out toward short, could be 2. Sims has got it, and he throws wide of second base and down the right field line. Making the turn at second and cruising to third is Divis. Holding on at first is Kennard. But what looked like a tailor-made 6-4-3 instead turns into an E6, and runners at the corners for Cheney.
Looked like that one might have bounced off of Kennard's bat just a little bit quicker, but the infield kind of held that one up. Haven't really seen that so much so far in this tournament. I know we were talking a little bit earlier about the dirt that's around pitcher's mound and how that's kind of packed back into the grass. And that looks like it kind of changed the trajectory of that ball just enough that it really kind of threw off that exchange at second.
So Dallas Reed batting now with men at the corners and nobody out. He squares to bunt, takes a strike on the inside corner. Looked like something with a wrinkle in it from Jungju Kim. Looks like Great Bend is going to play the infield about halfway. The corners with Pomeroy and Romero both about even with their respective bases. The middle infield of Sims and Barnes staying back enough that they could turn 2. The 0-1. That misses upstairs to Reed, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on the right-hand hitting right fielder. Best scoring opportunity of the ball game by far. No scores we play here in the top of the second inning, but Reed trying to change that. And instead, he'll pop it up. That's not going to get it done. The shortstop Sims drifting back just a few steps, settles under it, and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So now Kim could potentially get out of this frame unscathed if he could induce a double play ball from Scott Hastings. A big pitch there to a dangerous hitter in Dallas Reed.
Really avoiding a little bit of a issue there with an .875 slugging percentage so far for Dallas.
He had been hot in the first couple games of this tournament. Line drive right back to the mound. Kim's got it, throws to third, and Pomeroy tags the bag. It's a double play, and Cheney is turned aside in the top half of the second inning. Tough hitting luck for Hastings. He sends us to the bottom half of the second. Still no score. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Make sure your vehicle's AC is just right with a free Freon level check now at Just Right Auto Repair. They'll make sure your Freon's good to go at no charge with the purchase of any other service. Oil change, tire rotation, radiator flush, just whatever's clever. And they'll throw in the AC Freon check free. Bob Schaefer and the boys at Just Right Auto Repair, just west of West Street on the north side of Central, know that riding around in that vehicle with a malfunctioning air conditioner can make your attitude not quite just right. Just Right Auto Repair, 942-4747, 942-4747. Friends helping friends, neighbors helping neighbors. Jim's Apple Market of Cheney has been your small town, locally owned grocery store for decades. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can count on Jim's Apple Market of Cheney. And Jim's Apple Market of Cheney, always serving you, has become more than just your grocery store. It's your authorized U-Haul dealer and your headquarters for Traeger wood pellet grills. Locally owned and operated, Jim's Apple Market of Cheney. Learn about their weekly specials at myapplemarket.com.
No score as we make our way into the bottom half of the second inning. The Cheney Diamond Dogs and the Great Bend Batcats all tied up at 0 thanks to a line drive double play to end the top half of the second inning. Jungju Kim snaring that line drive off the bat of Hastings and turning it into a 1-5 twin killing. And so it's Max Simpson against Hunter Romero to get us underway in the second. Broken bat, ground ball back to the mound. Simpson's got it. He'll jog to first and make the flip over to Hastings in time. And the only concern there was Simpson going to be able to dodge the barrel, which flicked all the way out towards just to the left of the pitcher's mound.
And that one was really kind of interesting. The bat actually split right down the middle as opposed to just breaking off and getting sawed off. Outstanding.
Brennan Fontenot now in from the left side. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Batcats here in the second. Simpson deals on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Fontenot also having himself a heck of a first 3 games of this tournament. 7 for 12, including 3 triples and 2 doubles. And he lines it out towards shortstop. A tough play for Crandall. Long throw to make, and it's wide. And reaching first base safely is Fontenot. We'll have to see how they score it. Was not going to be an easy play for Crandall, who had to backhand that one deep in the hole, and they will score it a single. So it's hit number 8 for Fontenot in this tournament, and he is the first base runner of the evening for Great Bend. Jordan Wilkerson now digs in from the right side against Max Simpson. Brings the hands to a high set, winds and fires, and slips a slider on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Wilkerson already has a home run on his ledger in this tournament. He's 5 for 11 with that round tripper and 4 RBI. Pretty good speed on at first base in the form of Fontenot. 3 for 3 in stolen bases in the regular season, and Simpson will step off and look him back to the bag. No runs a hit, no errors for the Dogs. No runs a hit, 1 error for the Batcats. Cut on and missed by Wilkerson. And it's 0-2 on the Great Bend right fielder. Great Bend led by Roger Ward in their first year as a program, qualifying for the NBC out of the Jayhawk League. They finished 4th in that league behind Liberal, Hayes, and Derby. Cut on and missed. Good slider, and Wilkerson couldn't hit that with a telephone pole. It was all the way in the left-hand hitter's batter's box. It's strikeout number 2 for Simpson, and 2 down in the frame for Brooks Asher. Sometimes those breaking balls from a low arm slot can have frisbee-like movement to them. Not so much dropping, but just a lot of horizontal action. Here's a fastball working into Asher, and he taps it foul towards the third base side. It'll ricochet off the padding and make its way down towards the left field bullpen. No balls and a strike on the Great Bend catcher. Has just 3 at-bats in this tournament and looking for his first base hit. Simpson misses just in tight with a fastball, 1-1. As you might expect for a guy delivering from this arm slot, hasn't exactly been lighting up the radar gun. It's been mostly low to mid 80s. That last fastball at 83. And now he steps off and looks Fontenot back once again. Might be a running situation with 2 outs. Fontenot inching his way off. Here's the pitch. On the inside corner from Simpson. And he has jumped ahead of Asher, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander nods at the sign from Whistler. He sets up away, and the slider never quite came around. It actually missed on the inside portion of the plate. Tried to front door Asher and missed in tight. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Inning started with a ground out before Fontenot singled, and the strikeout of Wilkerson has brought us to our present situation. A man aboard at first base, 2 outs. No score as we play here in the bottom half of the second. 2-2, sprayed foul, heads up. That'll make its way quickly into the stands right above the first base dugout. As Asher having to protect with 2 strikes with an emergency swing to stay alive. Also a Kansas Jayhawk, in addition to his teammates Benjamin Sims and Mateo Zuniga. And Asher pops it up out into shallow right field, drifting out on it to second baseman DeVore, makes the call and the catch to retire.
NBC baseball fans, make some noise if you wish you were mowing your lawn right now.
Just kidding. What if you could mow your lawn right from your stadium seat? Seriously, get out your phone, go to the App Store, and download the Lawn Buddy app. The first 100 people to book service with Lawn Buddy will be entered to win free lawn care for the rest of 2017. Lawn Buddy. Push button, get lawn care.
Love live music, craft beer, local food, and the great urban outdoors? You'll find it all at the first ever Wichita Vortex Music Festival, August 4th and 5th. It's a concert and camping event right where the Arkansas and Little Arkansas meet, next to the Keeper of the Plains. Dwight Yoakam stars with Moreland and Arbuckle, Okie Lafarge, Cherokee Maidens, Carrie Nation and the Speakeasy, and more. Concert tickets can be purchased alone or with a campsite. Wake up Saturday to all-you-can-eat pancakes and Western swing. Tickets and details at WichitaVortexFest.com.
In alignment.
Is this year's tools located in front of the stadium to drop off your backpacks?
To the top of the third inning here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, we still have no score between the Great Bend Batcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs, fighting for a spot in championship week of this 83rd annual NBC World Series. Josh Whistler, Travis Young, and Phil Ingram, 8-9-1, due up for the Diamond Dogs. And dealing a strike on the outside corner to get us underway is Jungju Kim, who worked a 1-2-3 first and then worked his way around a single and an error to post a 0 in the second. And he deals another strike to Whistler. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on the Cheney catcher, who was in search of his first base hit at this NBC World Series. However, he has walked 3 times and drove home 2 runs. Late swing and a foul back into the press area just off to the left of us, and then ricochets down below.
Got to have quicker hands than that, folks.
Got to be on your toes up here.
Got a little bit of that last night.
0-2 misses down and skips in front of home plate where it's blocked by Asher, but Whistler not tempted, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this open window, but it's like a magnet for foul balls from left-hand hitters. Whistler cuts and foul tips it. Just did get a piece of a changeup as he stays alive. Switch hitter swinging it from the left side, followed by a right-hand hitting Travis Young and the left-hand hitting Phil Ingram for Cheney here in the third. Pitch swung on and flown out towards rather deep left center field, but it's right at Bartlett. Bartlett has to move and makes the catch for the first out here in the third.
Donate today at davis-moore.com/MDA.
Been a couple of pretty pitch-efficient innings for Kim. He got some help from that line-out double play to end the second, but needed just 21 pitches to get through the first 2 frames. 12 in the first, 9 in the second. And now he contends with Travis Young with 1 out, nobody aboard. Kim's changeup is on the inside corner, 0-1. That's not a pitch you'll see very often, a right-on-right changeup first pitch. Just because the action tends to run that ball right back into the barrel of a right-handed hitter. Here's the 0-1. That's a fastball that misses low. I suppose the thinking, though, is that if you follow it up with something hard, it can make that fastball really explode out of the hand. Young showing a good eye, though, laid off. Here comes the 1-1. He squares to bunt and takes low. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, it's also nice to show that pitch a little bit early in the count, especially for the guy who happens to be standing on base or whoever's paying attention back in the dugout. That way it's one more thing that you have to think about as well.
Just to show you've got it in the back pocket. 2-1 to Young. That's flared foul off to the right side and out of play. And that'll even things up on the Cheney center fielder, having a good tournament. 3 for 7 with 4 RBI and has walked 4 times. And maybe, probably, the fastest man on the field tonight. Center fielder from Wichita State can absolutely fly. Fouls this one off to the right side. Romero over towards the railing, but it's going to be out of play. And a nice catch by a youngster who brought his glove to the ballpark tonight. That's why you do it, folks. He was ready and made the running grab.
You don't bring your glove to the ballpark, do you?
I don't.
Okay.
I go with the duck method up here.
Good go. Good job.
Seems to work.
Well, safety first, I always say.
Do you?
Well, sometimes.
2-2, swing and a miss.
Young
down as he foul tips it into the mitt of Asher, and it's 2 up and 2 down for Cheney here in the third. Jungju Kim notches his second strikeout and sends us back to the top of the order for Phil Ingram. Valley Center certainly a powerhouse program in the old Walter Johnson League, but now it is the Cheney Diamond Dogs. As a pitch grabs the inside corner to Phil Ingram, 0-1. Diamond Dogs program has been a constant at this NBC World Series ever since their inception. 0-1. That stays upstairs to Ingram, a ball and a strike. This year they were the Sunflower Collegiate League Tournament champions. Beat the Hutch Monarchs in the final of that. 1-1 is fouled off to the left side by Ingram, 1-2. In the regular season, they finished just a half game behind the Mulvane Patriots for the regular season crown. Beat out by a first-year program there, and now facing off against a first-year program tonight. 1-2. Looped out towards right field, and that's going to be in for a base hit as it's over the second baseman Barnes and in front of Wilkerson. And Phil Ingram records the single to send up Grant DeVore.
So far, the Diamond Dogs have been really patient at the plate. I mean, they've managed to get some decent swings, but
second hit for the Diamond Dogs on the night, and that brings up DeVore, who struck the ball well his first time up, lined it right at the second baseman Barnes. Kim kicks and delivers. A fastball misses upstairs. The Diamond Dogs certainly no stranger to this first week of the tournament. Last year, playing in the first week, they went 4-0 and were able to qualify for championship week. But then they promptly went 0-3. Breaking ball misses down and outside. Good block by Asher. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. So I'm sure they have a little bit of revenge on their minds. Not only to get back to championship week, but to do a little bit better than they did last year. 2-0. Fastball just down and inside. DeVore lays off. And he is now firmly in the driver's seat. 3 balls and no strikes. With Ingram away at first base and 2 outs. Still looking for our game's first run as we play here in the top of the third. 3-0 coming. Way upstairs. Kim nowhere close. And it's a 4-pitch walk to DeVore to put runners at first and second with 2 outs for Quentin Crandall. And that's going to get Asher out from behind home plate to talk things over with his right-hander, who has definitely had more trouble to deal with than his counterpart Simpson, who has only allowed 1 base runner through 2 frames. Not all of the trouble has been Kim's doing. An error on the shortstop Sims created some of the issues in the second, but this jam is all his creation. And he'll try and shut down the rally with Crandall now. Struck out swinging his first time up to end the first. takes upstairs 1-0. Kim gives a look of Ingram out at second base. Now set in the 1-0 pitch. Popped up. That should end the inning. Third baseman Pomeroy in under it. Arms extended. Calling for it. Makes the catch just in foul territory. Halfway up the third base line. So Kim allows a couple of 2-out runners but gets out of it. And he sends us to the bottom of the third. Still no score between the Cheney Diamond Dogs and the Great Bend Batcats. This is the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Jesse Soria of Cholitas Mexican Restaurant.
Me and my wife have owned it for over 30 years. I have 5 kids, raised them all in the restaurant. They grew up working in the restaurant industry. We feel like we're locally owned. We're going to see you guys wherever we go shopping. You guys are going to see us, and it's important that we bring you a good product because we take pride in what we do.
Cholitas Mexican Restaurant, Westlink Shopping Center, Central and Tyler. Open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
There you go.
A public golf course with a country club feel and attention to its patrons awaits you. Cherry Oaks Golf Course of Cheney. Take the short drive west to Cherry Oaks of Cheney. Consistent green speeds, no aggressive playthroughs. Or
15 seconds, youngsters.
Stress and hassle, leave that at work. And enjoy your golf experience and lifestyle at Cherry Oaks of Cheney. The public course with the country club feel. Cherry Oaks.
8-9-1 due up in the bottom half of the third inning for the Great Bend Batcats, trying to produce this game's first run, all tied up with the Cheney Diamond Dogs at 0-0. It's Dawson Pomeroy, Brady Michael, and Peyton Barnes, a switch hitter, and then a couple of righties due up against Max Simpson, who has allowed just one single through his first 2 innings. He grabs the outside corner to Pomeroy, no balls and a strike. Batting out of the 8 spot, Pomeroy has been a spark plug for the Batcats. 6 for 11 in this NBC with a couple of doubles. Takes away from Simpson, 1 ball and 1 strike. And he made the catch on that foul pop-up to set aside a Cheney rally in the top half of this inning. Simpson's 1-1. Cranked out towards center field. Drifting back on it is Young. Now having to adjust towards left center field. Makes the catch as Pomeroy gives it a ride. But it's just a long, loud first out, 1 up and 1 down for Max Simpson here in the third. Much like Jungju Kim, Simpson, no issue with the pitch count through 2 innings. Through 8 in the first, 12 in the second. So this next offering will be just his 24th. As Michael loops it down the right field line, that's going to be in for a base hit. Over and trying to cut it off is Reed, and now tripping at first base is Michael, and he's going to have to hold on there. He's got the red on his pants from where he just stumbled on the base and had to pull in with a single.
Well, I'll tell you, you see the ball going down, you want to see if it's going to get past the outfielder in right field, and as you come working up, you're trying to make sure that you gauge the base right and want to make sure that you hit the outside, the inside part of the base, the second base side, so it's kind of propelling you towards that next base. But that one, that was yard sale.
That was spectacular. Peyton Barnes is now in from the right side. Simpson with a long pause and deals. Fastball in the inside corner for a strike. That was not a trip and a stumble and a fall. That was a wipeout. And it landed right on the red, white, and blue bases, and so he's got a giant red streak across his left knee as he takes his lead off of first base. Does not match at all with the color scheme for Great Bend tonight, as Simpson throws a nice slider on the outside corner to jump ahead of Barnes, 0-2. Barnes bounced out to the second baseman DeVore, his first time up. Third baseman Ingram is playing tight, now backs up with 2 strikes as they were expecting a bunt from Barnes. Simpson in search of his 3rd strikeout of the evening. 0-2 on the way. Lashed foul on a late swing by Barnes to stay alive. We'll do it again at 0-2.
So would you call that more maybe a Tulane green wave?
I think, yeah. That's
Could you go that direction?
That works.
Okay.
That color scheme is similar. got kind of the old school Houston Astros horizontal script on the uniforms tonight as Barnes waves through a slider on the outside corner, and Simpson does record that third strikeout. He has used that breaking ball very effectively on the outside portion of the plate to right-hand hitters, and he got Barnes to wave through it there for the second out of the inning. So it's up to Sims now. Shortstop bounced out to short. Back in the first, he's 0 for 1. And he takes away 1 ball and no strikes. It really seems like Simpson has a very clear-cut plan of attack. To right-hand hitters, he wants to bust the fastball in and then flip that slider to the outside portion of the plate. And then to lefties, he is just pounding them away with fastballs. 1-0. Does it again. A little looper is snared by the third baseman Ingram, who makes the catch.
For 6 generations, this land is provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/clean energy.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, head to visitwichita.com for all there is to see and do.
Through 3 innings, we have very little to separate the Great Bend Batcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs. We are all tied up at 0. Both teams have 2 hits. Great Bend has committed the game's only error. It's Wyatt Divis, Treston Kennard, and Dallas Reed, 4, 5, and 6, due up in the frame for Cheney, as Divis takes low from Jungju Kim to get us underway in the top of the 4th. Divis with a single leading off the second inning. He dumped one out into left field in front of Michael and takes upstairs to jump ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Divis and the man who hits right before him in the batting order, Quentin Crandall, both played for the Hutch Monarchs this summer, but Cheney picked him up for the NBC World Series. There's a strike, 2-1. And they have been excellent additions. Divis already has a home run in this tournament and 5 RBI. And he takes another strike, 2-2. It's a very interesting batting line so far in the NBC for Divis. Coming into play tonight, he had just 1 hit, but it was the home run, and he had walked 6 times. Left-hand hitter, kind of a crouch stance, wiggling the bat back and forth. Fastball works down and away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Played his college ball for the Hutch Blue Dragons, so it makes sense he would have stayed right there this summer for the Monarchs. 3-2, flown out into left field. This one should be playable for Michael. He's drifting back and towards the line, settles under it, makes the catch for the first out. Wind again, not much of a factor tonight. Flags at times have been blowing in from right at maybe 5 to 10 miles an hour, but for the moment just kind of hanging down the right field line. Overall, though, a pretty comfortable evening here at Lawrence Dumont. As Treston Kennard stands in, and he takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. And a good crowd on hand in a matchup of these 2 local teams, one from the Jayhawk League and one from the Sunflower Collegiate League. Kim's 0-1. Breaking ball misses away. A ball and a strike on Kennard, who reached on an error by the shortstop Sims his first time up. Wiggling the glove in front of his face. Kim kicks into the full windup and delivers. Flown out towards rather deep left center field. Converging on it, Bartlett and Michael, and it's Michael who calls and makes the catch. A couple flyouts to left, and it's 2 up and 2 down as Kim continues to roll along.
Hasn't really spent a lot of time just wandering around. That pitch clock really kind of helps with that whole situation, but you don't see him taking an awful lot of time stalling out there. Gets the signal and really pretty much just rocks and fires.
He has had a good pace about him tonight. Dallas Reed takes a strike on the outside corner. How do you feel about the pitch clock? Are you a fan?
There are certain times when I am. I mean, during tournaments like this, I do like to see play move along. But there are also some other times when I would like to see the pitcher have just a little bit more freedom, and maybe a batter even have a little bit more freedom as well, kind of change the pace of the game up just a little bit.
Reed fouled the 0-1 off out of play off to the right side. He's down in a no-ball, two-strike hole. Here comes Kim's delivery, and it's fouled again off to the right, this time off the facing. And down below, nice snag with one hand in the dugout by the Batcats. And we'll do it again. You kind of have to implement something just to keep the games moving, especially in a tournament where you've got so many games back to back to back. Big, slow breaking ball just missed from Kim. That clocked on the radar gun at 60 miles an hour.
And not only that, but I think it had everybody else. For the Batcats, I think they were also thinking that was right where it needed to be.
Need to clock that with a sundial as the fastball is fouled off to the right side and out of play. Definitely had Asher popping out of his crouch, ready to head back to the dugout, and I think three infielders were on the same page. No score, 2 outs, nobody aboard, top of the 4th inning. Kim to Reed. Flown out towards right field, should be playable for Wilkerson. He settles under it, makes the call, and makes the catch to retire the side. It's a 1-2.
Hi, I'm KSN Chief Meteorologist Lisa Teachman. What a great evening to be at the ballpark. Temperatures not feeling too bad. There's a little bit of humidity to contend with. This evening, temperatures will be staying in the mid-80s with partly cloudy skies. And as the sun sets, the cloud cover will move out. And after that, I am expecting us to have clear skies tonight with more clouds developing tomorrow. Well, when you're leaving Lawrence Dumont Stadium this evening, temperatures will be right around 77. Then tomorrow, back up to 90. And we will stay rain-free tomorrow and possibly into Sunday, although there's a slim chance late in the day on Sunday there could be a few showers and storms. Well, remember, stay connected with us at KSN and as always on KSN.com.
Off any wine, with even more coupons available online at davisliquoroutlet.com. 4 independently owned locations to serve you across Wichita. Davis Liquor Outlet.
Bottom half of the 4th inning, and nothing to separate the Great Bend Batcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs. We are all deadlocked at 0 as Great Bend will come to the plate with Corrigan Bartlett, Hunter Romero, and Brennan Fontenot, 3, 4, and 5 against right-hander Max Simpson, who delivers the first pitch that's fouled back over our heads and out of play, and it snowballs into strike on Bartlett, who is a swinging strikeout victim to end the first. It's been smooth sailing so far for Max Simpson. He's needed just 30 pitches to get through 3 innings and has allowed just a couple of harmless one-out singles. Bouncer down to first base, one big high hop to the first baseman Hastings, and he will jog it down to the bag in plenty of time to get Bartlett 1 up and 1 down. And Brad, it just really feels like both of these pitchers have settled into a rhythm, and both are really in control right now.
Well, and for Simpson, he just has such an easy motion out there. I mean, it looks like he'd be laboring just a little bit harder, but for the submarine pitchers or the sidearm pitchers, most of the time all you really want to do is just relax and just let the ball do most of the work as long as you can get it out of your hand.
Hunter Romero takes a fastball up and outside, 1-0. Really just Simpson executing his plan of attack. He has gone after every hitter in virtually the same fashion. Fastballs in and then breaking balls away, and then kind of flip that script to a lefty. A little check swing foul by Romero, even things at 1-1.
You know, coming sidearm, it really kind of gives you a little bit of an optical illusion because your hand is finishing lower than the ball. And usually whenever you've got that batter's eye, it's a little bit tougher to really kind of pick up where things are coming from.
Ground ball is just foul up the third base line and down and towards the corner, 1-2. And this isn't a particularly easy time to hit at Lawrence Dumont right now, as Simpson is still kind of in the sun. You can see, if you're watching along with us on the NBC World Series YouTube live stream, that his shadow is still projecting out towards first base, and the batter and the catcher and the home plate umpire are all in the shadows. And so whenever you've got that ball going from sunlight to shade, it can be a little bit more difficult to pick up on. Down and away with the slider, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Romero. Brennan Fontenot to follow, with 1 out, nobody aboard here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. All zeros in the run column. 2-2, foul back. Good cut that time from Romero as he stays alive. Both these teams 3-0 through pool play action. And it's a little bit surprising that we have ourselves a couple of zeros on the scoreboard, as both these offenses have shown the ability to put up runs in bunches. Fastball is up and away, and it's now 3-2. Cheney, in their 3 victories, put up 10, 12, and 12. And Great Bend, 9, 7, and 8. So when the fewest runs that either one of these teams scored was 7, you'd expected some offensive fireworks tonight. Slider misses just down and away, and Romero draws himself a 1-out walk. But it has been a pitcher's duel so far tonight. Great Bend with a 1-out runner as Brennan Fontenot will come to the plate. This is a good guy to try and change that. Has one of the 2 hits tonight for the Batcats and now has 8 hits in this tournament. Left-hand hitter against the righty Simpson, whose fastball misses down and away 1-0.
And for Romero, this is his first walk in the World Series as well.
Simpson gives him a look at first and deals away. 2 balls and no strikes. Max Simpson, as we mentioned, started his college career at Hutchinson Community College, where he was the Jayhawk West Conference Pitcher of the Year, 7-2, including a save and a 2.37 ERA. Throws a good slider in there at the knees to Fontenot. It's 2-1, but did not get to pitch much at all for Oklahoma State last year. Just 3 appearances totaling 2 innings. Allowed 3 hits and 2 runs with a couple strikeouts and a walk. And so he will be an Emporia State Hornet next year. 2-1, grabs the outside corner, and he has battled back to even things on Fontenot at 2-2. Tell you what, if you have not been following what's been happening up there in Emporia, that Hornet baseball program, very solid at the Division II level. They are fun to watch, and it looks like they have added some impact transfers for next year. A lot of good baseball going around the state, not only at the Division I level, but also in the lower ranks. And this NBC World Series, a chance for a lot of those players to shine. Representatives from Friends, Newman, of course, Wichita State, Kansas, and Kansas State. Foul back by Fontenot as he stays alive, 2-2. And then, of course, the junior college ranks. This Great Bend Batcats team, largely composed of a bunch of Barton Community College players. Roger Ward was a former player there. His assistants, Alex King and Zach Dobbins, both at Barton. 2-2 is flown out into left field by Fontenot. It's going to be a difficult play. Foul ground. Third baseman Ingram is the one who settles under it, and he makes the catch for the 2nd out.
For the Diamond Dogs, you've really seen some really good communication tonight so far as outfield is concerned. You've seen some good defense as well as far as the communication goes from the Great Bend Batcats, but nice job by Ingram just getting back, getting underneath the ball. That's usually really, we've seen some very big adventures that have gone on with some pop flies so far in this tournament as well.
That was not an easy play. He had to retreat almost straight back and over his head before settling under it. First pitch to Jordan Wilkerson is fouled back over the press box and out of play, 0-1. Wilkerson, a swinging strikeout victim back in the 2nd. Simpson with 3 punch-outs so far on his ledger, trying to keep this game scoreless here in the bottom half of the 4th. Romero still away at first after his 1-out walk. Fastball is up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. As you can imagine, both bullpens are eerily quiet right now. Nobody throwing in a game that hasn't had much offense to speak of yet. Just 4 combined base hits, and all of them singles. 1-1 is cranked out towards rather deep right center field. Young is on the run, still tracking, and he runs it down. There's the great.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, head to visitwichita.com for all there is to see and do.
For 6 generations, this land has provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/clean energy.
Cheney Diamond Dogs 0 as we make our way into the top half of the 5th inning. It's the bottom third of the order due up for Cheney with Scott Hastings, Josh Whistler, and Travis Young, 7, 8, and 9, against Jungju Kim. The right-hander winds and fires and throws a fastball at the knees on the inside corner to Hastings. No balls in a strike. Hastings has probably the most important at-bat in this game so far. Kim's next one skips down and inside 1-1. With runners at the corners and 1 out back in the 2nd inning, he lined one right back at Kim, who's somehow able to throw his glove up to snare it and then tossed over to third base to complete an inning-ending double play. And now Hastings flies it out into shallow right center field, drifting out the second baseman Barnes. He's called off by Sims, the shortstop. And the catch is made out in shallow center. It's 3 pitches and 1 out as Hastings is retired to start things here in the 5th. Kim now up over 60 pitches, but has now retired 5 in a row as Josh Whistler stands in. He flew out to the center fielder Bartlett his first time up. And takes a fastball upstairs at 83 miles an hour, 1-0. It's been a very well-pitched, generally well-played game. Only 1 error to speak of. Whistler cranks it out towards deep right field. Wilkerson tracking. He is not going to get to it. It's over his head and takes 1 bounce off the wall. Whistler digging into second base. He's going to be in there standing with a 1-out double.
It was a great piece of hitting, just getting the bat on the ball, and then that one just really kind of took off. Lawrence Dumont Stadium kind of interesting because the ball will usually jump out in that part of the ballpark, and you've got that south wind that constantly blows back over what used to be the Hard Rock Cafe. And it kind of changes the dynamic just a little bit because the ball's going to actually just kind of lay out there on the wind and really carry pretty well.
Whistler able to power that one over the right fielder Wilkerson's head, who was rather shallow. And it's a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Travis Young. The center fielder struck out swinging his first time up. And he takes a fastball that grabs the outside corner, 0-1. Young made a heck of a defensive play to end the bottom half of the 4th, tracking down the long drive off the bat of Jordan Wilkerson. And now has a chance to give Cheney the game's first lead. Changeup misses upstairs, and now time is called. Asher wants to jog out to discuss the pitch sequence with his right-hander. And for the first time, we have some movement down in the Great Bend pen. Nobody throwing yet, but at least a couple guys up milling around and stretching. As Asher completes his conversation with Jungju Kim, the right-hander from Seoul, Korea, who has been very good so far tonight, 4 scoreless innings. Whistler, not a particularly good runner out at second base. Pretty small lead for him. Barnes peeking in behind. Young squares to bunt, and he bunts it foul. The home plate umpire signaling that Young was still in the box. Greg Harmon right on that as he jumped out from behind home plate. Count moves to 1-2.
I was just checking Pomeroy back down at third for Great Bend, and he had been playing just even with the bag, and I know that was more just to protect in the event that there was something that was going on with the runner on at second.
Roger Ward came out of the Great Bend dugout to talk things over with Harmon. He was wondering if Young had been out of the batter's box when he made contact with that ball, which of course would be an out. Instead, it is just a strike, but the count is now 1-2 on Travis Young. No score, top of the fifth. Breaking ball just misses down and outside. That one at 58 miles an hour. Jungju Kim just lobbing it up there. Almost borderline eephus pitch. Seems to almost stop halfway to home plate. Now is 2-2. Fastball is at the knees on the outside corner. Young locked up, and he is rung up by Harmon for the second out of the inning. I suppose after 58, everything looks hard. And that fastball had Young surprised as he takes it for strike three. Nice frame job also by Asher to get the call. So it's back to the top of the order now for Phil Ingram. Standing in from the left side. He has flown out to left and singled his last time up in the third. Squares to bunt, takes a fastball down and away for ball one. No runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Cheney Diamond Dogs. No runs on 2 hits and 1 error for the Great Bend Batcats. Winner advances to championship week. The loser goes home. 1-0, bounce, nice block by Asher, sliding to his right to keep that ball in front. And it's 2-0. I'm not sure, though, that Jungju Kim wants to deal with Grant DeVore in the on-deck circle. He's had 2 good plate appearances against him. I think would prefer to end this frame right now with Ingram. 2-0, grounded back to the mound. Kim's got it kind of into his body, but he recovers and makes the throw to first. Corner to Asher, and it's no balls and a strike. Asher, the KU Jayhawk, popped out to the second baseman DeVore his first time up. 0-1. Grounded left side, fielding it on one big hop is Ingram, sets the feet, throws low, but it's grabbed over there by Hastings. 2 pitches, 1 out, as Asher's retired 5-3 on the putout. Just 50 pitches now with 1 out in the 5th inning for Max Simpson. The right-hander has been outstanding so far tonight. And he was very good in his previous appearances this summer for Cheney as he throws ball 1 to Pomeroy. Only pitched in 5 games for Cheney, but he made them count. Went 2-0 with an ERA of 4.06 and 31 innings of work. He's fallen behind Pomeroy 2 balls and no strikes. Struck out 37 and only walked 15. And allowed just 20 hits in those 31 innings. Now he's way behind to Pomeroy. Missed with a fastball down and outside. 3 balls and no strikes on the third baseman. Switch hitter in from the left side. Waves the bat back and forth. And Simpson pumps in a strike. Pomeroy lined out to the center fielder Young, his first time up. (3-1) popped up. Might be playable, but Ingram is over, and he's going to run out of room. As it is back into the stands, fielded on one big hop off the concrete, as the count runs full at 3-2.
Had a little dance for pizza contest going on between innings, and I thought that might actually get a pizza play.
Simpson's ready. 3-2. Line down the right field line, just foul. Tried a back foot slider to Pomeroy. He wasn't fooled, but was a little bit out in front. Dropped the bat head on it and lined it down that right field line, maybe 4 or 5 feet to the right of the right field line. Brady Michael to follow. Peyton Barnes, if anyone reaches, in the frame. No score. Bottom of the 5th. Pitch is fouled off. That time a fastball away. Pomeroy putting together one of the better at-bats tonight. His next offering will be the 8th pitch of the AB. Travis Young is playing pretty much in left field. He is that far swung over towards the left center field gap. And a fastball is outside for ball 4. Simpson not happy with himself as he spun around on the mound. It's the second walk issued by him tonight. Puts a runner aboard at first base for Michael.
Trying to stay away from Pomeroy. Tried to set that one just right on the outside corner, and that one just kind of rolled back over into the right-handed batter's box.
After a 1-2-3 inning, Simpson has now allowed 1 runner in each of the next 4 frames, and they've all come with 1 out. Michael flares it foul, 0-1. 1 out single from Fontenot in the 2nd. 1 out single from Michael in the 3rd. 1 out walk to Romero in the 4th, and now 1 out walk to Pomeroy here in the 5th. But after that, he has settled right back down and retired the next 2 in every inning. And that will change as he hits Michael with a pitch running inside. And that's going to give Great Bend runners at first and second with 1 out and send us back to the top of the order. Brad, we talked about how Simpson has liked to work in to right-handed hitters, and that's the danger that you run if one of those gets away from you just a little bit in tight, and it costs him a plunking.
We've also mentioned a little bit about what goes on in these ball games here in the NBC, and usually whenever you give those extra outs or those extra runners or extra pitches, that's usually when you start to get into trouble, and these middle innings are usually when you start to see things get a little bit more tenuous.
And some activity is now begun in earnest down in the Cheney pen. Bradley Demko, a left-hander, up on a mound and throwing. Slider misses down and inside to Peyton Barnes, 1-0. Again, Max Simpson is a sidewinder, and typically you won't see those kind of guys go through an order more than 1 time. This will be the 3rd time that Peyton Barnes faces him. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out to second and a strikeout. And he pops it up. Infield fly rule has been called. Nobody's calling for it. Eventually, the second baseman, DeVore, makes the catch. The batter was out anyway. But some confusion there between Ingram, the third baseman, and DeVore, the second baseman, eventually puts it away for the second out of the inning.
It could have been a little bit more adventurous if that ball would have actually managed to be misplayed, mishandled, and then kicked back into a dugout.
Sometimes you will see runners who are not aware of the infield fly, who see a ball drop like that and think that they have to advance, and that's how you get yourself some weird double plays. Sims, the batter now. First pitch swinging, lines it into right field. That's a base hit. Getting the wave around third base is going to be the runner Pomeroy. The throw in is going to be late. Pomeroy in ahead of the tag from Whistler. It's an RBI single from Benjamin Sims, and Great Bend has a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the fifth.
Reed came up with the ball clean. The only problem was he kind of double clutched and had an extra hop in there, and I think that was what actually cost him on the throw.
So the walk and the hit by pitch come back to bite Simpson. As Sims picks on his first offering and lines it right by the second baseman DeVore. Still runners at first and second, 2 outs, and the batter now is Bartlett. He is struck out and grounded down to first. Simpson's slider bends in there at the knees on the inside corner, 0-1. So Great Bend breaks the deadlock here in the bottom of the fifth. For Sims, that is his 5th RBI of this tournament and his 7th base hit. So a very good offensive series for the KU shortstop. He has had trouble at times defensively. There's a wave and a miss of the slider, and Bartlett's down 0-2. And if I am Max Simpson, I'm not throwing Corgan Bartlett anything but that. He has not had a good look at that breaking ball tonight at all. 0-2, and now time is called. Simpson steps off the back. Bartlett went down swinging on 3 pitches in the first and then tapped weakly down to Hastings his last time up. The runners are Michael at second, Sims at first. 0-2, there's the slider. It's looped out into shallow center and in for a base hit. Michael's going to dig around third. He's going to score. Sims digging for third. Throw there is late, and into second on the throw is Bartlett. It's 2-0 Batcats.
Well, and just like that, just managing to get the bat on the ball. Simpson's really kind of been scuffling with himself out there on the mound a little bit tonight. Saw a couple of moments here just in this inning, a couple of batters back, where you actually had him trying to step off just a second and be a little bit disgusted, had to recollect himself, and then come back at it. I thought he had maybe found himself, but the one thing that he has found is that he is about to come out of this ball game. But he's had a nice run so far.
Yeah, Pat Hahn has come out of the dugout. He has brought the hook with him, and so Cheney will be making a call to the pen. We'll tell you about the new Diamond Dogs arm when we come back. Our score, the Great Bend Batcats 2, the Cheney Diamond Dogs 0. This is the NBC World Series on KQAM.
With brand new concrete cart paths throughout the entire course, Cherry Oaks Golf Course in Cheney is an 18-hole public golf course that is great for company events as well as group and birthday parties. Focus on enjoying your company, not on finding stray shots. It's a ball-friendly course, so enjoy it in all its beauty. Everyone can enjoy Cherry Oaks Golf Course, just a drive, chip, and putt away in Cheney. Reserve your tee time by calling Cherry Oaks Golf Course at 540-0133.
If you're putting up a cedar fence, call B&B Lumber, K42 in MacArthur, because they sure have some nice-looking cedar fence boards. Or better yet, go out and see for yourself. These are 1x8 or 1x6 dog-eared boards, and B&B also
15 seconds.
Out of redwood and treated wood. So if you thought redwood was unavailable, come check out B&B's inventory. B&B Lumber opens 7 to 6 Monday through Friday and 8 to 3 on Saturday for all your needs. B&B Lumber, K42 in MacArthur and Schulte. Call 522-1522. 522-1522.
Left-hander Bradley Demko comes out of the Cheney pen, 6'2", 180 pounds from Sam Houston State. And he will come on in relief of Max Simpson, who looked very good for 4 innings, but ran into a major speed bump here in the 5th. A walk and a hit by pitch, followed by RBI singles from Benjamin Sims, and Corrigan Bartlett has given the Great Bend Batcats a 2-0 lead. They're still threatening with runners at second and third and 2 outs. And the batter is Hunter Romero. Demko's first pitch is going to go all the way back to the screen. It kicks off the backstop, and that's going to allow Sims to score. It's 3-0 on the wild pitch by Demko. Well, maybe Demko coming out just a little bit too fired up. Just fired a bullet, a fastball down and inside that Josh Whistler had no chance to even get leather on. It took a big high ricochet off the padded wall behind home plate, popped into the air, and even though Semmes didn't break initially, was easily able to come home and score. Bartlett advances to third. And now the 1-0's grounded out towards shortstop. Crandall's got it on the slide, and his throw to first is in time. But great.
Make the most of every single moment. After the game, head to visitwichita.com for all there is to see and do.
For 6 generations, this land is provided for this Kansas farmer's family. Now, it also provides affordable, clean energy for Kansas. Watch the full story at weststarenergy.com/clean energy.
Davis Liquor Outlet.
Great Bend with a 3-0 lead as we make our way into the top half of the 6th inning. The Cheney Diamond Dogs sending Grant DeVore, Quentin Crandall, and Wyatt Divis 2-3-4 to the plate as the first pitch delivered to DeVore by Jungju Kim is fouled back to the screen at 0-1. DeVore is lined out to second, reached on a walk. But Jungju Kim has been unfazed with 5 scoreless innings. And there's the eephus, 57 miles an hour as he bends it in for a strike, gets 0-2.
That's not even fair.
That is awesome.
You should have that checked at the front gate.
I want more of those. 0-2, fastball grounded right side. On the backhand, Romero has got it. He'll take it to the bag himself, 3 unassisted. 1 up and 1 down here in the 6th. I've always heard from pitching coaches that you better throw above the hitting speed or below it. The reasoning there is if you were throwing 85 to 88, everybody can time that up. So you better be throwing low 90s or you better be throwing high 50s, low 60s. Either way, you can get outs. And Jungju Kim is proving that tonight as Quentin Crandall digs in from the right side. There's another one. 56. He keeps getting lower. He started at 60. He has gone 58, 57, and now 56. That one missed down and away. 1-0 is a fastball up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. It has been a long time since the Lawrence Dumont Stadium scoreboard has had to read 56 miles an hour. 2-0 is fouled off to the right by Quentin Crandall, and it's 2 balls in to strike.
I think Tuesday night we did have a 34-mile-per-hour reading, but I think that was just the toss going back from home plate to the pitcher.
That was the umpire sending out a new ball. Yeah.
That was awesome.
This is fun to watch. Kim's 2-1. Grounded out towards shortstop. Semmes gobbles it up chest high. His toss to first is accurate. Crandall's retired 6-3. And Kim has set down the first 2 Diamond Dogs that he has faced here in the 6th. The right-hander was at 71 pitches entering this frame. And he's required just 7 to set down the first 2 men as Wyatt Divis will dig in. Divis has singled into left and then flown out to left. 1 for 2. Outfield shifting him into the opposite field. Kim kicks and delivers a fastball upstairs, 1-0. This is how Colt heroes in this tournament are born. Guys who make their first appearance for a team and toss shutout baseball. Kim dials in a strike, 1 ball, and 1 strike to count. Makes it all the better that Kim from Seoul, Korea, plays at a Division III school, and he's tossing in mid-50s breaking balls as he misses down low. 2 balls and a strike now to Divis. into the wind. The next one on the way. Changeup stays low. Divis checks the swing. They'll peel and no go, says third base umpire Bill McGuire. 3 balls and a strike. Tristan Kennard would follow should this inning continue. 3-0 Great Bend in front. There's ball 4. Fastball runs up and away, and Divis draws the walk. Just the second handed out tonight by Kim, in addition to the 3 base hits he has allowed. And he'll have to get through the dangerous Kennard, who has 10 RBIs in this tournament so far. Today he has reached on an error and flown out to left. Kim's delivery popped up, foul territory. Romero going over, giving it a look, and it's out of play. The Batcats inching ever closer to a berth in the championship week of the NBC World Series in their first ever season as a collegiate summer team. 0-1, fouled off to the right side again, pretty much the same spot. Kennard's fallen into a no-ball 2-strike hole. Batcats play their games at Al Burns Memorial Field in Great Bend. Pecos League's Great Bend Boom used to call that home. 0-2. There's another Ephus, just misses outside. That one's 61, burning up the radar gun.
I was going to say he heated that one up just a little bit.
1 ball and 2 strikes. If he throws 155, I'm going to lose it. Shaking off a couple of signs from Asher. Now he's got the one that he wants. Pitch on the way, line back up the middle and on into center field, a base hit. Pulling into second and stopping right there is Divis, but a couple of 2-out runners for the Diamond Dogs as Kennard finally able to wait back long enough to drive that one back up the middle. And that will get some activity going down in the Batcats' pen.
And we're talking a little bit about the off-speed pitch that Kim is throwing out there tonight. Kids these days usually learn how to throw an off-speed pitch. The only problem is they start teaching the circle curve a little bit, and the circle change a little bit more earlier. So you've got kids that are about 8 to 10 years old that are really starting to pick that up early on and really start to develop that pitch.
Dallas Reed, the batter, 2 on, 2 out, and takes a fastball, strike nothing and 1. Divis out at second, not a great runner. Kennard has pretty good speed on at first. But with 2 outs, a base hit, likely to score 1. Something in the gap has the potential to plate 2. Hits now even at 4, but the runs 3-0 in favor of the Batcats. Lined into left field, that's a base hit. Divis is going to get the wave around. Michaels up with the ball, firing towards home plate. The throw is going to be cut off, and scoring from second is Divis. It's a 3-1 ball game on the RBI single by Dallas Reed.
Well, a good job by Great Bend as well with the relay coming in. Able to hold that runner at second so that you don't get yourself into more trouble just by giving up 1 run.
Roger Ward is going to make a long, slow walk out to the mound, trying to give a little bit more time for Taylor Langston, the right-hander who has begun to loosen in the Great Bend pen, but he is really just now up on the mound and will not be ready yet. And so Ward pretty much out there just to buy time right now for his right-hander. The inning started harmlessly enough. A couple ground outs from DeVore and Crandall. But as rallies so often do, this one starts with a 2-out free pass. We saw the dangers of those free passes in the last half inning, and a couple of singles that brought home Cheney's first run.
Well, the challenge for Cheney was obviously to try to get something on the board and just be a little bit more confident going up to the plate, being a little bit more patient, really looking for the pitch in the zone that you want it to be. Looking for a pitch, not necessarily a bad thing, but looking for it in the zone that you want it to be in, and then having the confidence to go out there and put the bat on it. Nice answer by Cheney.
Meeting on the mound is over. The batter, well, it was going to be Scott Hastings. Looks like he has been lifted for a pinch hitter. Kim deals, and it's cut on and missed. No balls and a strike. The pinch hitter is Andrew Miller. And so he will take over for Scott Hastings. Hastings will finish 0 for 2, lining into that double play and then popping out to short. Miller, a right-hand hitter, takes a big breaking ball, 57 miles an hour in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. I don't know how you could come off the bench and see 57 and be anywhere prepared to hit it, but we'll see what Miller can do. Kim's 0-2, went back to it, 62 miles an hour. This time it missed down and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He has added and subtracted velo all night. Fastball hasn't hit 1 tick over 85 miles an hour, but he has made it work. 1-2. Fastball grounded out towards second base. It's well struck, but right at Barnes. Gobbles and tosses, and the inning is over. Cheney is on the board, however, on the RBI single from Dallas Reed. We move to the bottom of the 6th. Our new score, the Batcats 3 and the Diamond Dogs 1. It's the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Sand Creek Station Golf Club in Newton is bringing golfers together with the KGSO Special. 2 play for $50 during the month of July at Sand Creek Station. Range balls, green fees, cart, 2 play for $50 all month long at Sand Creek Station Golf Club in Newton. Sand Creek Station offers back tee overall length of 7,200 yards, so you can get out and stretch your game a little bit. Set your tee time now. Call 284-6161. 284-6161. 2 play for $50 Mondays through Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays after 4. Call Sand Creek Station now and ask for the KGSO Special.
Did you know that AutoSmart offers fleet service? AutoSmart features certified ASC technicians and same-day service for your fleet. AutoSmart will perform computer diagnostics on your vehicles, and they'll determine what repairs need to be done with your approval. You can get your fleet of vehicles serviced at AutoSmart, including breakdowns, oil changes, along with
probably a safe bet.
setting new tires. AutoSmart also offers a new 36-month or 36,000-mile warranty on service done, including parts and labor. With 2 convenient locations, call them today for your fleet at 316-524-2277.
Great Bend Batcats leading the Cheney Diamond Dogs by the score of 3-1. We're into the bottom half of the 6th inning. And out for his first full inning of work is left-hander Bradley Demko. He got the last out in that 3-run bottom half of the 5th. And now he'll be facing Brennan Fontenot to get us started. His first offering is going to go all the way back to the screen. 1 ball and no strikes on the left-hand hitting DH for the Batcats. Fontenot has singled and popped out to third. Demko delivers. Fastball is on the outside corner, 1-1. Bradley Demko, 6'2", 175 pounds, from Austin, Texas. As we mentioned, plays at Sam Houston State. And he throws a fastball upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Has a very exaggerated Louis Tiant turn to his windup. Works out of the full windup off the third base side, and he misses down and away, 3 balls and a strike. Like a couple of the players on this Diamond Dogs roster, he actually spent the summer with the Hutchinson Monarchs, but joined the Diamond Dogs for this NBC, and he throws a strike in there at the belt to run it full on Fontenot at 3-2. Was very good for Hutchinson this summer, 2-1 with a 1.27 ERA. Fontenot slashes it foul to stay alive. 6 appearances for the lefty, 28 in the 3rd innings. He allowed just 13 hits, struck out 35 and only walked 11. 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. Fastball by him upstairs. 91 miles an hour from the southpaw. And he blows away Fontenot for the first out here in the 6th. This is quite the change from the sidewinding right-hander Max Simpson. He is pumping it in from the left side.
Well, and Demko does show you his back a little bit. It's interesting because when he brings that his drive foot through, it's just really interesting to see how he manages to balance himself and then just really kind of drive.
His first pitch fastball misses upstairs to Wilkerson. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout swinging and a fly out to center. Big cut and a miss. Fastball on the outside corner again at 91, and it's a ball and a strike. Demko certainly no stranger to big spots. He pitched in the NCAA Regional this past spring at Lubbock against Texas Tech, which the Bearcats are ultimately able to emerge victorious. He jumps ahead of Wilkerson, a ball and 2 strikes. Made 14 appearances for Sam Houston State as a freshman, 1 start, an ERA of 3.44. Looks to have a bright future ahead of him, and he's got himself 2 strikeouts as he pumps one by Wilkerson. 2 up and 2 down, and it has not been much of a secret what Demko is going to throw you. It's been a lot of fastballs, a lot of hard stuff, and not much contact against him.
Yeah, you better check your belt, because if he does go with anything off speed, you are going to hurt yourself.
We'll see what Brooks Asher is sitting on. The catcher is 0 for 2 with a pop out to second and a ground out to third, and he has to dive out of the way. A fastball working down and in at his knees, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Dawson Pomeroy would follow should this inning continue. 3-1 the Batcats in front as we play here in the bottom of the 6th. Cut and a miss. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Should mention Andrew Miller has come on at first base for Hastings. He pinch hit in the top of this inning and grounded out to second to end the frame. Fastball way up and outside. Whistler has to lunge out of his crouch to snag it. 2 balls and a strike. But is likely going to be a battle of the bullpens from here on out. Demko's 2-1. Swing and a miss. Another fastball, 92 miles an hour. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We get a helicopter flying right above the lights here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium overhead.
We missed that during the national anthem. Flyover a little bit late.
A little behind schedule as Asher is behind on the fastball and flicks it to the screen to stay alive. We'll do it again at 2-2. Great Bend now being out hit 5-4, but they've got a 3-1 lead. 2-2, swing and a miss. Wow. What an inning for Demko. He strikes out.
Locally owned and market.com.
Jungju Kim is back out for the 7th inning, trying to protect a 3-1 lead for the Great Bend Batcats. He'll have to contend with 8, 9, and 1. Due up in the Cheney order: Josh Whistler, Travis Young, and Phil Ingram, a switch hitter, a righty, and a lefty. Due up against Kim, who is at 93 pitches entering this 7th inning. Bullpen has been active the last couple frames for the Batcats as a changeup misses just down and away to Whistler. 1 ball and no strikes on the Diamond Dogs backstop. He has flown out to center field and doubled his last time up. Here comes the 1-0, and it's upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. And this is, I think it's not unfair to say, a risky move by Roger Ward, trying to ride his starter for 1 more frame. And he has fallen behind Whistler 3-0. Kim looked like he was beginning to waver at the end of that 6th inning. Allowed a walk and then a couple of singles to bring home the first run for Cheney. His 3-0 is right in there for a strike to Whistler. But I would guess if anyone gets on in this frame for the Diamond Dogs, that would be the end of the line. Change-ups on the inside corner. Whistler looked to be taking all the way, and it's gone from 3-0 to 3-2. Outfield deep and straight away. Kim kicks and delivers. Fastball low, ball 4. Whistler aboard for the second time. It's a leadoff walk. The third walk handed out by Kim. And Roger Ward is already out of the first base dugout. He is pointed down to the pen. And that is all for Jungju Kim. Great outing from the right-hander, and he will leave in line for the victory. We'll tell you about the new Great Bend arm when we come back. Our score, Batcats 3.
For nearly 60 years, Goodwill has helped people like Alexis develop skills through job and education opportunities. A diagnosis of cerebral palsy at a young age has never gotten Alexis down. With the help of a Goodwill employment training specialist, she started working for a local nonprofit agency, which provides support for families of children with developmental disabilities. Now she's the face of their Wichita office, and she enjoys making a difference in other people's lives. Donate, shop, educate, employ. Learn more and give at goodwillks.org.
Healthy community. Local faces being there for you long after the job is done. AutoCraft uses local suppliers whenever possible. Eco-friendly products.
15 seconds.
Back to local charities. Putting that extra smile on someone's face. AutoCraft invites you to join us to keep it local. So let's work together to grow a strong and healthy community. Be sure to visit us at autocraftinc.com.
Roger Ward has brought upon right-hander Taylor Langston, 6'5", 225 pounds, well-built young man out of El Dorado, Arkansas, who pitches collegiately at Barton Community College. Langston has been one of the better guys out of the pen this season for the Great Bend Batcats. 10 appearances. He has made 6 of them in relief with 4 starts. 3-3 record and a 4.50 ERA in 38 innings of work. Has allowed 45 hits with 31 strikeouts to just 11 walks. And he will try and set down the Cheney Diamond Dogs here in the top of the 7th. They've gotten a leadoff walk from Josh Whistler, and now will send Travis Young to the plate against the big right-hander. And Brad, I think it's pretty safe to say that Ward got everything he could have asked for out of Jungju Kim tonight.
Well, it's out of your starter. I mean, you definitely want to get through the 6th. I mean, you'd like to get to the 7th, but if you can manage to do that, and he managed to work on an economy of pitches. A couple of times he got behind some batters, but for the most part, I mean, he was really pretty much in charge of what was going on out there this evening.
He is left with a 3-1 lead. He is still responsible for Whistler on at first, as Young squares to bunt and takes a fastball strike, 0-1. Nobody is happier to see Kim out of there than Travis Young. He was 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts against him. The line as it stands right now for Kim, 6+ innings, allowed 5 hits with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts, 1 run. And now Young gets the bunt down, back to the mound. Langston's going to go to second. The throw there's in time. Looked like he was all ready to just glance at second and then throw to first, but he saw he had enough time to get the slow-footed Whistler. And his toss down to the shortstop Sims was accurate for the out. Young reaches on the play, but there's now 1 down in the frame.
Well, nice job by Langston fielding his position and then just managing to gather himself. He wasn't in a big hurry and then just really put it on a dime. But everybody moving very well in the middle infield there for Great Bend.
First pitch is bunted by Ingram, and a great one down to third. There's going to be no play as Pomeroy will elect to eat the baseball. And so after Young tries to sacrifice, Ingram bunts for a base hit. Well deadened up the third base line, and nothing Pomeroy could do about it. So the Cheney Diamond Dogs have put runners at first and second with 1 out for Grant DeVore. He is lined out to second, walked, and bounced down to first. Some excellent speed out there with Young at second and Ingram at first. First pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. One thing that Fielder's Choice did do is it can now close the book on Kim. So his final line will be 6 innings with the 1 run allowed. It was earned. But he can only win it or get the no decision. 0-1. Flown out towards center field by DeVore. Bartlett charging in is going to have to play it on a hop. Young is going to get the stop sign at third as he had to wait to see if it would land. But back-to-back singles following the fielder's choice, and it's now bases loaded, 1 out for Cheney here in the 7th. Wasn't struck particularly well off the bat of DeVore, but Bartlett didn't get a good jump on it, and it just kind of died in front of him in left center. Quentin Crandall will be the batter. Looks like Langston is going to elect to work out of the full windup. The base is loaded, so everybody can get a good head start. And his fastball misses upstairs to Crandall. 1 ball and no strikes. Crandall's had a rough night at the plate, looking to atone for it right here. He has struck out swinging, popped out to third, and bounced out to short. 3-1. Great bend in front. Fouled off to the right side, out of play. Good cut, but late on a fastball was Crandall.
Got his money worth on his swing. Looked like it was right where he was hoping that it would be.
Langston peering over that black glove as the sign that he wants. His 1-1 is a fastball upstairs, 88 miles an hour. He's fallen behind Crandall, 2 balls and a strike. Cheney getting their first run back in the 6th on the RBI single from Dallas Reed. Now threatening to tie this up or potentially take the lead. And they're now 1 pitch away from getting closer as the fastball misses up and away. 3 balls and a strike to Crandall. Nowhere to put him for the big right-hander Taylor Langston. Deep breath. Asher flashing through the signs. Here we go. 3-1 on the way. Fouled. Back over our heads and out of play. Crandall looked to be upset with himself. I think he got the pitch he was looking for and couldn't put it in play.
Well, for Langston right now, it's not time to slack off. It is time to bear down.
Probably the biggest pitch in the ball game right here. Bases loaded, 1 out, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Langston's got the one he wants. Pitch on the way, and it's inside, ball 4. They will actually say that it hit.
I was going to say, it looked like it might have just
hit
ticked
Crandall, but either way, it's going to force home the run. Ward wants to come out and talk about it. The thing is it really doesn't matter whether or not he stuck the elbow out. It was going to be ball 4. And it's going to force home a run to make this a 3-2 ball game. The only difference it would make is how it was scored, whether or not it would be a hit by pitch or a walk. But now it looks like, okay, they appealed down to first base. Home plate umpire.
There was a swinging strike on that one? Wow.
I guess it was nothing close to a swing, but Harmon went ahead and asked Matt Ossenfort, who dutifully raised his arms and said no. And so it's 3-2, bases still loaded, still 1 out, and Wyatt Divis is the batter. Divis with a dry foul off to the left. He was late on a fastball, and it's 0-1. So it will be scored officially as a hit by pitch, RBI for Crandall, as Young comes down from third base to score. A run is charged to Taylor Langston. 0-1. Change up, foul tipped right at home plate. Asher can't squeeze it, but it's no balls and 2 strikes. Great Bend not resting on their laurels. They continue to get the activity going down in their pen. Brock Noten, a right-hander, is up and loosening. But for now, it's Taylor Langston. 0-2. On the outside corner, it's a called strike 3. Divis with a couple of words for Harmon as he makes his way back to the dugout, and a huge 3-pitch strikeout for Langston when he absolutely needed it.
Left fielder number 20, Tristan Kennard.
So it is up to Kennard. Has reached on an error, flown out to left and singled. Breaking ball is upstairs, 1-0.
You know, like you said earlier, Tristan has been a very dangerous hitter so far in this NBC World Series. And with the bases juiced out there, that kind of, when you climb into the batter's box, that really kind of gets your juices going just a little bit more.
Has 10 RBI in this tournament so far, and he's got 3 more out there. Way up and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And Langston hasn't been particularly close with his first 2 offerings to the Cheney left fielder. The runners around the horn are Ingram, DeVore, and Crandall. First two reaching on singles, the latter reaching on a hit by pitch that drove home a run. Here comes the 2-0, and it's down and outside with a fastball. 3 balls and no strikes. Langston in danger of tying this ball game up with one more wide one. And how devastating would that be for Great Bend to have all this come about due to their own inaccuracies. 3-0 is in there at the knees, 3-1. This whole thing started on a walk to Josh Whistler. He was forced out on a sacrifice bunt attempt, but then single hit by pitch. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 3-1 on the way. Low, ball 4. It skips all the way back to the screen. It's now up onto the netting, and it will just be a 1-base advancement. It's ball 4. That forces home the run, and we are all tied up at 3 here in the top of the 7th.
Well, you definitely want to make sure that you're making your opponent put the ball in play. And I know that gets to be a little bit frustrating, and Roger Ward's going to come back out of the dugout for the Great Bend Batcats, and they're going to discuss this a little bit more. I always try to check to see what's going on with the wind here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. This has been kind of an interesting situation because as you look back out towards McLean, back towards the river, everything kind of blowing back in just a little bit back in from right field. And that swirls back around this whole concourse up here and really kind of takes the balls in a little bit of a different track, so to speak.
Great Bend has made another call to the pen. We'll tell you about the new Batcats arm when we come back. We're all tied up at 3, top half of the 7th inning. It's the NBC World Series on KQAM.
There's great specials at Davis Liquor Outlet every day of the week. All 7 days of the week, you can take 20% off cases of liquor every day at Davis Liquor Outlet. If you're a connoisseur of wine, that's fine. 7 days a week, 25% off all wine cases. Wednesdays take 15% off craft beers, and Thursdays 20% off any wine. With even more coupons available online at davisliquoroutlet.com. 4 independently owned locations to serve you across Wichita. Davis Liquor Outlet.
With over 20 years of tire and wheel experience, Wichita Tire and Alignment offers name brand tires, wheels, and auto repair services, including alignments, balancing, brakes, struts, and shock absorber work. Great customer service and great prices are our highest priority. We employ a well-trained staff specializing in the sale and installation of passenger car, performance and light truck, or SUV tires. Special tire size requests are welcome. Call us at 522-2919 or visit us at 4460 South Seneca in Wichita. We are Wichita's full-service tire center. Call Chris at Wichita Tire and Alignment.
Right-hander Brock Noten, 6'1", 175 pounds, from Ketchum, Oklahoma, and Rogers State will come on to try and stop the bleeding for Great Bend here in the top half of the 7th inning. Now, the Cheney Diamond Dogs have pushed across 2 runs, both on bases loaded free passes. A hit by pitch to Quentin Crandall, and just a moment ago, a bases loaded walk to Tristan Kennard that has tied this game up at 3. The Diamond Dogs still threatening, bases loaded, 2 outs, and the batter will be Dallas Reed. In this inning, we have had 2 walks and a hit by pitch, in addition to a couple of singles. Cheney now out hitting Great Bend 7-4. But the run column all even as Reed digs in. It'll be a right-on-right matchup for Brock Noten. The runners are DeVore at 3rd, Crandall at 2nd, and Kennard on at 1st. Noten's going to work out of the stretch off the third base side of the rubber. Hands set in front of his chest and deals a breaking ball that skips in low. Asher drops to his knees to smother it, 1-0.
Boy, and Reed is just right up there on top of the plate. He kind of moves everything to the back of the batter's box, but just really right on top of the plate, not giving up anything on that outside corner.
Reed is 1 for 3 tonight. Has popped out to short, flown out to right, singled his last time up in the 6th. Cuts and misses, and another off-speed pitch, 79 miles an hour. Had him out in front, 1-1. Great Bend got the game's first 3 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Base hits by Benjamin Sims and Corrigan Bartlett, bringing home the tallies. But Cheney has crawled all the way back to tie this one up. Down and away again. And Noten has fallen behind 2 balls and a strike on Reed. Great Bend, in case you were wondering, will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in the home half of this 7th inning. But they got to get there first. Bouncer out towards shortstop. Sims lets it kind of eat him up, but his throw to second is just in time as Barnes kept a toe on the bag. Cheney gets a pair, however, in the top half of the 7th, and as we stretch him out here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, our new score is Cheney 3 and Great Bend 3. You're listening to the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Make sure your vehicle's AC is just right with a free Freon level check now at Just Right Auto Repair. They'll make sure your Freon's good to go at no charge with the purchase of any other service. Oil change, tire rotation, radiator flush, just whatever's clever. And they'll throw in the AC Freon check free. Bob Schaefer and the boys at Just Right Auto Repair, just west of West Street on the north side of Central, know that riding around in that vehicle with a malfunctioning air conditioner can make your attitude not quite just right. Just Right Auto Repair, 942-4747, 942-4747.
Sand Creek Station Golf Club in Newton is bringing golfers together with the KGSO Special. 2 play for $50 during the month of July at Sand Creek Station. Range balls, green fees, cart, 2 play for $50 all month long at Sand Creek Station Golf Club in Newton. Sand Creek Station offers back tee overall length of 7,200 yards, so you can get out and stretch your game a little bit. Set your tee time now. Call 284-6161. 284-6161.
10 seconds.
Play for $50 Mondays through Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays after 4. Call Sand Creek Station now and ask for the KGSO Special.
God bless America here in the bottom half of the 7th inning at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. The crowd with an appreciative round of applause as they have been treated to quite the ball game here tonight. The Cheney Diamond Dogs, trailing at 1 point by the score of 3-0, have fought their way back to tie this ball game up at 3 thanks to a couple of runs in the top half of this 7th inning. And now they get to send left-hander Bradley Demko back out for another frame. And Brad, I don't know if I've seen a more impressive inning in this tournament than what Demko turned in the 6th. He struck out the side, and it seemed like he pretty much did it with 1 pitch.
He did that, but he also did it moving the ball around just a little bit. He had just enough of a wild thing moment out there with a couple of pitches that as a batter, you can't really get in and get everything nailed down and really hone in on just one spot. And I think with the way that, number one, he gives you a different look from what Cheney was giving you a little bit earlier as far as what Simpson was doing. And with Demko out there now, he shows you the back, he gives you that big number on the back, and then turns that thing back around. And there's an awful lot that you have to get through as a hitter to figure out where that ball is actually coming from.
He will be facing 8, 9, and 1. Dawson Pomeroy, Brady Michael, and Peyton Barnes, switch hitter, righty and a righty. Due up for Great Bend. So Pomeroy will get to swing around and bat from the right side for the first time tonight. Demko's fastball runs in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, it wasn't all spotting up with the fastball, but he was throwing hard enough that he could get away with the times he missed his location as he deals a strike to even things at 1-1 on Pomeroy. And he got a lot of his strikeouts elevating that fastball, where it is tantalizing for a hitter, tempting, almost impossible to lay off, but almost impossible to connect with. He misses down and away, 2 balls and a strike now to Pomeroy.
Has an interesting delivery where he actually looks down at the ground and then takes his eyes back off as he refocuses a couple of times. So as a batter, you've got it coming from everywhere.
Little pop-up foul is going to get out of play as Miller was in hot pursuit but runs out of room, crashing into the fence over there. He is okay as he leaned over the railing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, getting back to that point, there's basically a lot of things in Demko's delivery that could go wrong.
Oh, sure there is.
Looking down, turning his back completely to the hitter, and kind of flying open, but he makes it work, and he gets another strikeout. A fastball blows away Dawson Pomeroy. 4 straight punch-outs for Demko, and it's 1 up and 1 down for the Batcats here in the 7th.
When you see the way that he just explodes off the mound, he doesn't necessarily land in the same spot twice. as a batter, that has got to be just really unnerving for you.
Brady Michael in from the right side. Fastball was up, 1 ball and no strikes. And I just wonder what the impact is of having him come on after Max Simpson with his much lower sidearm delivery from the right side, and then to face a guy who is more straight over the top from the left side, throwing at least 6 to 7 miles an hour harder. He's fallen behind Michael, 2 balls, no strikes. Way outside with a fastball, and he has not really been particularly close to the 9-hole hitter. It was this part of the order that sparked the Great Bend rally back in the 5th. Pomeroy walked, Michael was hit by a pitch, and both came around to score. 3-0 is up and away, and a 4-pitch walk from Demko right after we got done praising him. He walks the 9-hole hitter and sends us back to the top of the order for Peyton Barnes.
The good news is we won't have to break down film with him. We've got
true.
nothing to offer.
Keep doing what you're doing, I guess. Barnes is 0 for 3. He's grounded out to second, popped out to second, struck out swinging. Both starters now, by the way, are only going to receive no decisions out of this one. So we're all tied up at 3. Pitch misses down and inside to Barnes. 5 in a row out of the zone by Demko. Jungju Kim went 6 strong innings for Great Bend. Allowed just the 1 run, but Taylor Langston allowing a couple to tie this one up. Strike on the outside corner evens things at 1 ball and 1 strike on Barnes. And for Cheney, Max Simpson went 4 2/3, allowed 4 hits and 3 runs before being relieved by Demko, who was tossed an inning and 2/3 of shutout baseball. 1-1. Lined out towards center field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Playing it on a hop is Young, stopping at second Michael. But a threat for the Batcats. They've got 2 aboard with 1 out.
Shortstop number 6, Benjamin Sims.
Nice piece of hitting by Barnes, just being confident, just being a little bit more relaxed up and just waiting for a pitch that's going to be in the zone that you're going to possibly be able to drive. With a pitcher like Demko, who has so much physicality that he really throws at you and so much motion, usually if you just be just a little bit patient, especially if he's coming in a relief role, you got to figure you're going to get to him.
Sims, chopper out to second, could be 2. Flip to second, 1. Crandall back to first, it's in time. 4-6-3. The Diamond Dogs roll it up, and Demko gets out of trouble here in the bottom half of the 7th. Onward to the 8th we go. Still tied at 3. The Great Bend Batcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs locked in a good one. It's the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Are you having trouble getting your crop out of the field due to the wet conditions? Susi Track Systems for your combine has state-of-the-art technology. Our rubber track system places very little stress on the ground, even extreme conditions created by muddy or wet soil, which significantly reduces soil compaction. Outstanding traction removes wheel slippage, which prevents your machine from bogging down, fuel wastage, lost time, and surface correction, which equals to money wasted. Susi International has 48 years experience in the track business, and we have 15 years dealing with tracks. If you are interested in this kind of time, money, and field savings that we are offering with our track systems, then call Don at 620-899-8380.
15 seconds.
620-585-2208. Also ask about our lease options. Susi Track Systems. Give us a call today.
Alrighty guys, well, are you ready to bust the move? Oh yeah, okay.
Into the 8th inning here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. We are all tied up at 3. We're going to have to wait a minute as a dance competition is taking place up along the third base line, so we're just going to soak this in for a couple seconds.
I think soaking it in may be a little bit of over-exaggeration there. How about that?
We could provide play-by-play, but I don't think anyone out there wants that.
Well, the good news is I believe that was Corrigan Bartlett's mom who was out there for the Batcats, so nice job, Mom.
Well done. Bartlett clan, I'm sure, is proud.
You betcha.
Win or lose tonight, they won the dance competition, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. As the first pitch delivered by Brock Noten, misses to Andrew Miller. It's 7-8-9 due up for the Diamond Dogs here in the 8th. Miller, Whistler, and Young. Miller lines it out into center field. Bartlett coming on. He slides and makes the catch. Inspired by his mom's performance.
How about that?
Bartlett takes away a base hit as he robs Andrew Miller. That's just good, wholesome family fun at the ballpark right there.
You can't pay for that stuff.
You really can't.
You shouldn't be charged either.
It's Whistler now. He has doubled and walked, also flown out to center. And he takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
Whistler's mom here tonight?
That's what I was about to say.
I'm sorry I stole your thunder on that one. Apologize. Apologies to everyone. Whistler's, Bartlett's.
Up and away, a ball and a strike to the switch hitting catcher. The last man to face the starter, Jungju Kim. In the 7th inning, he walked, was forced out at second on a fielder's choice, but did not deter the Diamond Dogs as they put up a pair of runs in that frame to bring us to our present 3-3 score. Whistler, ground ball right side, charging over Barnes. He's got it on a tough short hop, and his throw to first is in time. Long way to go that time for the second baseman, Peyton Barnes, on a ball that was chopped towards the 4-hole, but he got over there in good shape, picked it on the in-between hop, and made the easy toss as Noten has set down the first 2 men that he's faced here in the 8th.
It's very Cano-like with as much ground as he covered on that one.
Young, the batter now. A couple strikeouts, reached on a fielder's choice and scored. Takes a strike from right-hander Brock Noten. 0-1. Noten, the third pitcher of the evening. After Jungju Kim, it was Taylor Langston, who lasted just 2/3 of a frame. Struck out 1, walked 1, allowed a couple of hits and 2 runs. Young cuts and misses. Couldn't hold up on a breaking ball down and outside, and it's 0-2. So the battle of the bullpens is in full swing. Made our way into the 8th inning in a tie ball game. Cheney out hitting Great Bend 7-5. Batcats have committed the game's only error. Young takes low. Breaking ball skips down and inside. It kicks away from Asher, but it won't matter as the count moves to 1-2. Noten did not pitch with this Great Bend staff during the summer. But Great Bend pitching was not really their strong suit, an ERA of 5.5. But Noten with a 1-2-3 frame. He gets Young to wave over the top of a breaking ball. Travis has struck out 3 times tonight. And we move to the bottom half of the 8th. Still tied up at 3. Cheney and Great Bend. The NBC World Series on KQAM.
If you're farming today, you know all about taking risks. Well, here's one risk you don't have to take
Royals
anymore.
win streak
the risk
is at
of
9.
or internal diesel injector deposits.
Golly.
Because now Cenex
4-2.
Ruby Fieldmaster Premium Diesel Fuel has an advanced injection stabilizer to prevent IDID. So you don't have to risk injector failure, clogged filters, and downtime anymore. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster is even backed by a 10-year, 10,000-hour warranty for even less risk.
In Atlanta, Valley Co-op.
Jesse Soria of Cholita's Mexican Restaurant at Central and Tyler talks a little bit about success.
Each and every one of our customers that come in, we want them to come back. We want them to enjoy their meal. We want them to be happy. If for some reason we send you some food and let's say
15 seconds.
Taste right, let us know. I'm going to bend over backwards to take care of you. Our
Langston
goal
get?
30
Did he go
years ago was to
2/3?
please every customer, and that is still our goal today.
Cholita's Mexican Restaurant, Central and Tyler.
Three, 4, and 5 coming to the plate for Great Bend. We're into the bottom half of the 8th inning, all tied up at 3. The Batcats and the Diamond Dogs doing battle here to see who will advance to championship week here at the 83rd NBC World Series. Denning Gehrig and Brad Streeter on the call for you tonight in what has been a fun night of action here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. And Brad Demko is back out for another inning of work. Corgan Bartlett will be the first man at the plate. And he's first pitch swinging, fouls it off to the right side and out of play. 0-1. The festivities won't end after this ball game. One more spot still to be decided in championship week, as the Austin, Texas Shockers and the Mulvane, Kansas Patriots will go at it 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Way outside with a breaking ball from Demko, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The Cheney left-hander, after striking out the side in the 6th, got around a walk and a single in the 7th, thanks to a 4-6-3 double play. It's 1-1, swing and a miss. Fastball at 92 on the inside corner, and Bartlett couldn't catch up.
You just throw that one a hole right on top of your shoes.
Peering over the glove, has the sign from Whistler. 1-2, fouled back. That time Bartlett just does get a piece to stay alive. He'll be followed by Romero and Fontenot. Righty, lefty due up for the Batcats. They have not had much to speak of offensively since that 3-run 5th, though they did threaten in the 7th. Breaking ball is chopped out towards shortstop. Crandall waits back on it, gets rid of it quickly, and it's just in time to get a hustling Bartlett. 6-3 on the putout. 1 up and 1 down for Great Bend in the 8th.
For the Batcats, it's the cleanup hitter brought to you by OxyFresh Carpet Cleaning, the world's greenest carpet cleaning.
So it's Hunter Romero now. He's been aboard once in 3 trips, has grounded out back to the mound and also to short, in addition to reaching on a walk in the 4th. Demko kicks and delivers. Fastball cut on and miss, 0-1. Demko has experience as a starter, both at the collegiate level for Sam Houston State and also in the summer, and so you figure he is stretched out enough where he could give you 3 or 4 innings out of the pen. Popped up. First baseman Miller is going to be called off by the second baseman DeVore, and he will make the catch out in very shallow right field. 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th inning as Demko continues to roll along. The Diamond Dogs will have the top of their order due up in the top of the 9th. And they may be facing a new pitcher. Even though Brock Noten worked a 1-2-3-8, there is a lefty loosening down in the Batcats' right field pen. First pitch fouled back by Fontenot as he went after a high fastball and couldn't quite get on top. 0-1 on the Batcats DH. Single, pop out to third, and a strikeout swing for the left-hand hitter. 0-1. That's chop foul up the first baseline. You can hear a little bit in our crowd mic that the wind has begun to pick up just a little bit here at Lawrence Dumont. Still blowing in the same direction, though, kind of directly at us from the right field foul pole. 0-2. Fastball is away. As if it wasn't tough enough as a left-hand hitter facing a lefty like Demko to hit a ball out to right. Now it would take a Herculean effort. 1-2, breaking ball stays away, and that'll even things up. I would not want to be facing Bradley Demko as a left-handed hitter, because that ball probably looks like it's coming out of right field. And at 92 miles an hour, or in case he drops that slider on you. A tough guy to hang in there for. We'll see what Fontenot can do. Here's the wind in the 2-2. Popped up. Might stay in play, it won't. Whistler gave it a look, but it's well back out of play. We'll do it again. Jordan Wilkerson would bat should this inning continue. All tied up at 3. Great Bend with 3 in the bottom of the 5th. Cheney with a run in the 6th and 2 more in the 7th. Popped up, this one will be in play. Third baseman Ingram calling for it. He drifts over towards foul territory, settles under, and makes the catch to retire the side. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Bradley Demko, and he moves us into the 9th. Cheney 3, Great Bend 3. This is the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Hi, this is Robin Lace with KQAM 1480, the Big Talker, and I am about motors, and I'm talking how low can you go? It is amazing. They're located at 2759 South Broadway. Here's just a couple of examples. I'm looking at right now, it's an 05 Pontiac Sunfire, less than about 70,000 miles on it. It's a beautiful color of blue. Originally $83.95, now $69.95. That is phenomenal. Check this out. It's an 044 Focus red. $69.95 originally. Now it's $69.95. I told you they are cutting prices like crazy. This one is my favorite. Okay, it's 02 Jeep Liberty, and it's red, of course. $89.95 originally. Now $69.95. They are slashing prices like crazy over here. Here's an 05 Kia
15
Sonata,
seconds.
and it's a maroon color, originally $64.95, now $39.95. I'm not kidding. They are making deals like crazy. It's going on today. Economy Motors, 2759 South Broadway. Ask for Samantha or Gary.
Top of the ninth inning. We are all tied up at 3. The Cheney Diamond Dogs and the Great Bend Batcats trying to see who will advance to championship week here at the NBC World Series. It's the top of the order. Phil Ingram, Grant DeVore, and Quentin Crandall against the right-hander Brock Noten, who misses down and outside for ball 1 to get this frame underway. Ingram so far tonight has flown out to left, singled, bounced back to the mound, and then singled a run in the 7th before coming home to score himself. And he takes a changeup on the outside corner to even things at a ball and a strike. Lefty, righty, righty due up against Noten, who has been good since coming on out of the Batcats' pen. Ground ball back up the middle. Barnes to the backhand side. He's got it. Throws off balance. The tag not in time. We saw Peyton Barnes make a play almost exactly like that last night, where he had to range towards the second base bag and throw off balance. But this time his throw pulled the first baseman Romero off the bag, and his swipe tag couldn't get Ingram, who's aboard with a leadoff single.
Well, and for Ingram being one of the guys at the top of the lineup, we haven't really seen anything as far as testing pitchers so far tonight and testing catchers as well.
First pitch is bunted up the first base line by DeVore, fielded on the run by the pitcher Noten, and his flip to first is in time. But the sacrifice is completed as Ingram advances to second. DeVore is out 1-3, and there's one down in the frame now for Quentin Crandall. Should mention a couple of defensive changes for Great Bend, as Corrigan Bartlett has moved from center field to left, and taking over in center now is Mateo Zuniga, as there's going to be a quick visit on the mound with the catcher Asher and also the shortstop Sims in on this conversation. Potential go-ahead run is in scoring position for the Diamond Dogs, as Quentin Crandall will step to the dish. He has struck out swinging, popped out to third, grounded out to short, and then was hit by a pitch to force home a run in that 2-run 7th. Noten has the sign that he wants. Takes a glance out at Ingram and delivers. Ground ball down to third base is right at Pomeroy. Sets and throws in plenty of time. And Crandall is retired for the second out in the frame. Ingram has to stay put at second base. And now it will be up to Wyatt Divis.
The designated hitter number 26, Wyatt Divis. Brought to you by
Divis has singled into left, then flew out to left before walking and scoring in the 6th and striking out looking in the 7th. And it appears as though Roger Ward has come out. He wants some kind of an explanation, as he is talking things over right now with home plate umpire Greg Harmon. And now he will head out to the mound. I wonder if this is it for Noten. There is a lefty warming, and so Ward may be wanting to play matchups here. I suppose it's possible also that they're talking about just putting Divis on to face the right-hand hitting Kennard in the on-deck circle, though that seems like a dangerous proposition. Double barrel action is going down in the Great Bend pen. There's a lefty and a righty who are throwing, as Harmon will now walk out to the mound to break up this conversation. Looks like Ward is going to stick with Noten. And now we will just see if they elect to pitch to Divis or if they want to face Kennard. The inning started on Phil Ingram's infield single. DeVore sacrificed him to second, but Crandall out first pitch on the bouncer to third. All tied up at 3, top half of the 9th inning here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. In what has been a tightly contested ball game pretty much from the word go. Noten is ready, And his first pitch to Divis. Changeup fades low. 1 ball and no strikes. Wyatt Divis was an all-star in the Sunflower Collegiate League this summer, but he did it for the Hutchinson Monarchs. Cheney had 12 all-stars of their own, in addition to their head coach Pat Hahn, who was coaching one of the teams in that all-star game. Fastball misses away, 2 balls and no strikes. And now I'm not sure if I'd give Divis anything to hit. You got a base open and a righty in the on-deck circle. We'll see how aggressive Noten wants to be. 2-0. Change up down and outside. I think that tells the story right there. Even behind in the count, they were not going to throw Divis anything hard or straight. Elected to go with something off speed. And now it's 3 balls and no strikes. And they're just going to put him on. You do not have to throw the 4 pitches here at the NBC, and so Great Bend just signaled out to Harmon that they would like to put Divis aboard. It will be an intentional walk, and that'll put runners at first and second, 2 outs for Treston Kennard.
Here comes that man.
1 for 3 in the ball game tonight, but he's been on base 3 times. He's reached on an error, a single, and a walk his last time up. Ground ball right side. Barnes is over. He's got it. Throw to first in time, and the inning is over. Cheney threatens with a single and a walk, but nothing to show for it. We move to the bottom of the ninth. The chance for Great Bend to walk us off. Our score, the Batcats 3, the Diamond Dogs 3. It's the NBC World Series on KQAM.
A public golf course with a country club feel and attention to its patrons awaits you. Cherry Oaks Golf Course of Cheney. Take the short drive west to Cherry Oaks of Cheney. Consistent green speeds, no aggressive playthroughs or weights on the tee box. Stress and hassle, leave that at work and enjoy your golf experience and lifestyle.
I'm looking at this and I'm going,
Cherry
okay.
Oaks of Cheney. The
Either
public
this is the
course
weaker portion of
with
the
the
program
country club feel. Cherry Oaks.
We're looking for
Hello, everyone.
kids that
this
are
is
due
the
right now.
X-Man, Xavier McDaniel. I always played on a winning team, whether it was with the Shockers or in the NBA.
He's been right around
when
the plate.
I look for a winning team in the insurance business, hands down, it's Bill Balls, Allstate Insurance Agency. With over 30 years of provided insurance coverage
15
in the
seconds,
Wichita
guys.
area. This is a slam
The
dunk,
problem
in
is,
my opinion,
with this win,
of who I
you
want
can't just
on my
get a
insurance
hold of
team.
one.
Give
It's
them a
not going to
call
happen.
today at 316-773-9864 and tell them the X-Man sent you.
Because you look out here and it doesn't look like much of anything. If it gets up, and you're above, the level out here.
To the bottom half of the ninth inning, the Great Bend Batcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs all tied up at 3. And a chance for Great Bend to walk themselves off into championship week here at the NBC World Series. Jordan Wilkerson will lead things off, and his first pitch swinging comes up empty on an offering from left-hander Bradley Demko, who has been outstanding for Cheney so far. 3 1/3 innings of scoreless relief. Is 0-1, a little broken back ground ball right side. Going to be a tough play. DeVore throws on the run, and it's just in time to get a sliding Wilkerson, who went in hands first, face first into the first base bag and did not get there ahead of the throw from DeVore, which got him by a step or a lunge, I suppose you could say. So it's Brooks Asher now the batter. He has popped out to second, grounded out to third, and struck out swinging 0 for 3. Demko, fastball up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Cheney playing Asher to the pull side. Center fielder Travis Young has swung over towards left center field. 1-0, cut on and missed. Fastball right by him on the outside corner, 1-1. The only other defensive kind of shift is the second baseman DeVore playing deep and up the middle. Foul off to the right side. Fastball got in on the hands of Asher, and it's 1-2. Hasn't been much to speak of against Demko. Just 1 hit and 1 walk. He did, however, throw a wild pitch that brought home a run in that 3-run 5th inning for Great Bend. Swing and a miss. Fastball right by the bat of Asher. Strikeout number 5 for Demko. And he has set down the first 2 Batcats here in the ninth, as Dawson Pomeroy will come to the plate. Pomeroy, a switch hitter, will bat from the left side. He'll get his second look at Demko. Struck out swinging against him in the 7th. His previous at-bats lined out to center and walked. And he takes inside for ball 1. Only fitting that this game should go extra innings with how close it has been throughout. There's a strike on the outside corner as Demko needles the black. 1-1 to Pomeroy. Two teams 3-0 through pool play, both pretty much overwhelming their competition and squaring off in a good one tonight. Pomeroy fouls it back to the netting, 1-2. The unfortunate thing is that if this game does happen to go into extra innings, the winner will have had to burn a little bit more pitching that they can't utilize in championship week. Fastball is up and outside, 2-2. But I think that is a problem either of these teams would be happy to have. 2-2 just upstairs. Pomeroy with a good eye on a fastball that didn't miss by much. He's now run it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Demko's got the sign. Here it comes. Foul back to the screen. Came right after him. We'll do it again.
Really good at bat for Pomeroy, just staying in there trying to extend things. Just trying to stay in and stay on contact.
Mateo Zuniga waits in the on-deck circle. Way up and outside. That's ball 4. So the foul ball on 3-2 proves to be pivotal as Pomeroy earns his way aboard. And now it's Zuniga who will get his first at-bat of the game tonight. Came on to play center field in the top half of this frame. And will now swing it from the left side against the left-hand throwing Demko, with Pomeroy on at first base and 2 outs. First one to Zuniga. He squares to bunt, and did it hit him? What happened? I think he fouled it.
Looked like that came just right off the handle.
He was trying to spin out of the way, but that fastball riding up and in must have hit his bat. And it deflected back to the netting. So Demko catches a huge break. And he's ahead in the count, 0-1. Zuniga, I suppose, catches a break in that he didn't die. Fastball is up and inside, 1-1. That was a 90-mile-an-hour offering headed right at him. And the bat proved to be in the right spot or wrong spot, depending on your interpretation of things. Pat Hahn has called time, and he wants to walk out for a quick word with his left-hander. Cheney has begun some action down in their left field bullpen. This is right-hander Albertus Barber, who is loosening. But I'm sure Hahn and the entire Diamond Dogs squad would prefer that Demko just end things right here against Zuniga, who has had not a good tournament so far at the plate. Does not have a hit yet for the Batcats. 10 plate appearances for him. He is 0 for 10 with 5 strikeouts. And facing one of the toughest lefties that this tournament has to offer. Hahn back to the dugout after his words of wisdom for his southpaw, who's ready with the 1-1. Broken background ball is foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Haven't gotten to talk much about Pat Hahn tonight. Really interesting guy who has been around this tournament as long as I can remember. He is a fixture in Wichita area baseball, coached at Tabor. He's also coached and played for the Newton Rebels and the El Dorado Broncos. Has played for the Derby Twins, the Community Bank Cowboys. He has literally worked the mound at this tournament after his own games. A guy who has done it all.
How many tools would that be?
How many hats is he wearing, I think is the better question. He has just been as vital to the NBC as anyone in this tournament's history. And a fixture here. Zuniga cuts and misses on a breaking ball outside. He foul tips it into the mid of Whistler. It's strikeout number 6 for Demko. And we are going to have free baseball. Moving to the top of the 10th, our score, the Great Bend Batcats 3 and the Cheney Diamond Dogs 3. It's the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Jesse Soria, the owner of Cholitas Mexican Restaurant. Jesse, what is the magic of Cholitas?
I believe it's been our consistency. We've been able to provide a quality product by making our foods fresh daily. Our cooks come in and they start with the sauces, the chips. We make everything there. We have really good customer service. It's just overall quality.
Open 6 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Cholitas Mexican Restaurant inside West Link Shopping Center at Central and Tyler.
Hello, everyone. This is the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel. I always played on a winning team, whether it was with the Shockers or in the NBA. When I look for a winning team in the insurance business, hands down, it's Bill Balls, Allstate Insurance Agency. With over 30 years of providing insurance coverage in the Wichita area.
15
this
seconds.
Is a slam dunk, in my opinion, of who I want on my insurance team. Give them a call today at 316-773-9864 and tell them the X-Man sent you.
To the top of the 10th inning, we are all tied up. The Great Bend Batcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs. It's Dallas Reed, Andrew Miller, and Josh Whistler, 6, 7, and 8. Due up for Cheney against right-hander Brock Noten, who is back out for another inning of work. His first pitch is a fastball that misses up and inside to Reed, and it's 1 ball and no strikes on the Cheney right fielder. He is popped out to short, flown out to right, singled, and then bounced into a 6-4 fielder's choice. And he pops this one up, foul territory. Pomeroy over towards the railing, reaches, and he can't make the catch. It dropped behind him as he overran it just a little bit. So new life for Dallas Reed on a high pop-up that stayed in play just beyond the Cheney dugout. And Pomeroy, who had a long run just to get over there, ended up running just a few steps too far, tried to reach back over his head and saw it land just behind him. 1-1 is grounded foul. The narrative of this game so far has been good starting pitching, and then after a hiccup in the middle innings from both sides, excellent relief work. Noten has gone 2 1/3 scoreless. Demko has gone 4 1/3 scoreless. There's a little cue shot foul off the bat of Reed as he just does get a piece to stay alive. Noten came on in that 7th inning when the Diamond Dogs put up a pair to tie this game up at 3. He was able to stop the bleeding there and promptly tossed scoreless 8th and 9th. Lined into left field. That's in for a base hit by Reed. Over to cut it off is Bartlett. But a leadoff single for Dallas Reed has put the potential go-ahead run on at first with nobody out.
Nice bit of pitch of hit. Huh. Easy for me to say. Nice bit of hitting there. Just trying to get the bat on the ball and being patient enough to make sure that he's able to get that wood where it needs to be. Kind of critical that foul ball wasn't caught, and now you've got a little bit of life.
That could prove to be a huge play in this game. Miller is bunting. It's back to the mound. Noten's got it. His only play is to first. Sacrifice completed as Reed will advance to second on the play. Miller's out 1-3. And now the potential go-ahead run is at second base with 1 out, and that'll be Josh Whistler.
I think Green Bay, because I'm marking GB.
Whistler has flown out to center. He has doubled, he has walked, and he has bounced out to second. Switch hitter who will swing it from the left side. And we're going to have a visit to the mound right now by Great Bend head coach Roger Ward. He has made this walk a number of times. He's got a couple options to choose from down in the Batcats pen with a righty and a lefty throwing. Noten has given them good work with 2 2/3 innings of scoreless relief, but I wonder if he is at the end of his road. While this meeting goes on at the mound, Pat Hahn wants to talk things over with Whistler. Only has 1 hit in this tournament, but it came earlier tonight with a booming double to the gap in right center field in the 5th. And again, Ward is not going to take the ball from his right-hander. We've seen this a couple of times tonight. He will have activity down in the pen, will go out to the mound, and then will not make the move. Having some faith in his reliever, Brock Noten from Ketchum, Oklahoma, and Rogers State. Josh Whistler plays his college ball for the Gorillas of Pitt State. Was also with the Wichita State program for a time. He's set back in from the left side, and the first pitch to him is a fastball that misses away, 1-0. A lot of Wichita State connections on this Cheney Diamond Dogs roster. Travis Young, the center fielder, still with the Shockers. Bradley Kinsey was there as a freshman, transferred to Northeast Oklahoma, and he'll be going to Pitt State. Whistler was with the Shockers as he takes a strike at the belt, 1-1. And then also outfielder Keenan Eaton was with the Shockers for a couple of seasons. He has since transferred to Colorado Mesa. Great Bend, however, leans a little bit more towards the Kansas Jayhawks. They have 3 representatives in Brooks Asher, Benjamin Sims, and Mateo Zuniga. Ball and a strike to count. Check on Reed, and the pitch on the outside corner, 1-2. Whistler, I think, somewhat displeased with himself that he couldn't pull the trigger. The aforementioned Travis Young is the man on the on-deck circle, but Whistler can give Cheney a lead with one swing of the bat right here. 3-3 our score, top half of the 10th. Noten deals. Line drive into left field, but it's at Bartlett, and he's able to make the catch, just drifting a step or 2 back and to his left. And there's now 2 down in the frame.
Nice job by Whistler, just going with the pitches on the outside half of the plate, really driving that one. And you kind of saw it take off just a little bit as it got out to Bartlett. That thing just kind of hung up just a little, and just a little bit off of maybe driving that one back into a gap.
So it's up to Travis Young, who has had a rough night at the plate. 3 strikeouts and a sacrifice bunt attempt that turned into a fielder's choice. But he can atone for all that right here. He takes a breaking ball low and outside for ball 1. That would be quite the story if Young could come through with a hit right here. Dallas Reed led off this inning with a single, with sacrifice bunted to second base by Miller for Whistler's lineout. 1-0 way down and outside. Asher has to backhand it, sliding towards the left-hand hitter's batter's box. 2-0, excuse me. Great Bend in the bottom half of the 10th will send the top of their order to the plate with Peyton Barnes, Benjamin Sims, and Corrigan Bartlett. Brock Noten trying to send us there in a 3-3 tie. Down and outside again. 3 balls, no strikes, the count to Young. Phil Ingram, who has had a very good night at the plate, looms in the on-deck circle. And you just never want to put the 9-hole hitter aboard without at least forcing him to swing the bat. 3-0. That's on the outside corner. Young obviously taking all the way. The Diamond Dogs have out-hit the Batcats 9-5, but Great Bend made the most of theirs, bunching them together in that bottom half of the 5th inning. Put up a 3 spot. Cheney with a run in the 6th, 2 more in the 7th. And both teams have been held off the board since. 3-1. That's low with a breaking ball for ball 4. So Young is aboard on the walk. There was a base open. Runners at first and second, now 2 outs, and this time Ward is out of the dugout, and he has the hook with him. New pitcher coming on for Great Bend. We'll tell you about the new Batcats arm when we return. It's the top of the 10th inning here at Lawrence Dumont Stadium, all tied up at 3 at the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Make sure your vehicle's AC is just right with a free Freon level check now at Just Right Auto Repair. They'll make sure your Freon's good to go at no charge with the purchase of any other service. Oil change, tire rotation, radiator flush, just whatever's clever, and they'll throw in the AC Freon check free. Bob Schaefer and the boys at Just Right Auto Repair, just west of West Street on the north side of Central, know that riding around in that vehicle with a malfunctioning air conditioner can make your attitude not quite just right. Just Right Auto Repair, 942-4747, 942-4747.
747.
Hello, everyone. This is the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel. I always played on a winning team, whether it was with the Shockers or in the NBA. When I look for a winning team in the insurance business, hands down, it's Bill Malls, Allstate Insurance Agency. With over 30 years of provided insurance
15
coverage
seconds.
in the Wichita area. This is a slam dunk, in my opinion, of who I want on my insurance team. Give them a call today at 316-773-9864 and tell them the X-Man sent you.
Left-hander Alex Ruxlow comes on out of the Great Bend Pen. 6'5", 225 pounds from McPherson, Kansas, and Fort Hays State University. Ruxlow has been as close to a closer as you could get on this Great Bend squad this summer. He has 2 saves in 14 appearances, 2 starts, a 1-1 record in the ERA at 5.04. And he will come on to face the left-hand hitting Phil Ingram, who has been the offensive star tonight for the Diamond Dogs with a trio of singles. He has also scored a run, 3 for 5 on the night, and a chance to be the hero. He's got Dallas Reed out at second, Travis Young on at first, and 2 outs in a 3-3 game. And he takes the first pitch fastball upstairs from Ruxlow. 1 ball and no strikes. Ruxlow has already appeared once in this NBC World Series. Big, tall left-hander works off the extreme third base side of the rubber. Shoulder high set and a 1-0. That's in there at the belt for a called strike 1, maybe a little bit elevated. And I think that's what Ingram is asking about. Ingram is not a big guy, listed at just 5'8", and that might be generous. And so that must have just grabbed the upper reaches of the strike zone. 1-1. That's just off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike. There have been some close pitches in this at-bat. Ingram maybe getting the benefit of the doubt on that last one. Ruxlow is ready. Here comes the 2-1. That's right down the heart of the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This inning has had a leadoff single, a sacrifice bunt, a line out to left, a walk, and now it is up to Ingram. It is played out exactly like the top of the ninth. There goes the runner for third, pitches upstairs, and there will be no throw, as sliding in safely is Reed with the stolen base. As the count now runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was a gutsy move. You've got a left-hand hitter up with 2 outs, but he picked a great pitch to run on, got a good jump, and stole it easily, as Asher elected to eat that baseball. 3-2, Young held on at first. Here's the pitch, and it's upstairs for ball 4. So now the bases are loaded with 2 outs, and the batter will be Grant DeVore. And we're going to have another visit to the mound from Roger Ward. There's a righty warming up in the pen, and we'll see if he is called upon to play the matchups here against DeVore. It looks like the signal has already been made, and so we will tell you about that new arm when we come back. Still in the top of the 10th. We're all tied up at 3. The Great Bend Batcats and the Cheney Diamond Dogs. NBC World Series action on KQAM.
Jesse Soria, the owner of Cholitas Mexican Restaurant. Jesse, what is the magic of Cholitas?
I believe it's been our consistency. We've been able to provide a quality product by making our foods fresh daily. Our cooks come in and they start with the sauces, the chips. We make everything there. We have really good customer service. It's just overall quality.
Open 6 days a week from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Cholitas Mexican Restaurant inside Westlink Shopping Center at Central and Tyler.
Hello, everyone. This is the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel. I always played on a winning team, whether it was with the Shockers or in the NBA. When I look for a winning team in the insurance business, hands down, it's Bill Malls, Allstate Insurance Agency. With over 30 years of provided insurance coverage in the Wichita area.
15 seconds, guys.
This is a slam dunk, in my opinion, of who I want on my insurance team. Give them a call today at 316-773-9864. And tell them the
Closing batting
X-Man
average, not bad.
Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top half of the 10th inning at Lawrence Dumont Stadium. The Cheney Diamond Dogs threatening to take the lead over the Great Bend Batcats, who have made another call to the pen and brought on right-hander Andrew Repp, 6'2", 180 pounds from Topeka, Kansas, and Barton Community College. He's got 3 runners aboard, all Diamond Dogs: Dallas Reed, Travis Young, and Phil Ingram. And he will be on to face his second baseman Grant DeVore, who was lined out to second, walked, grounded out to first, singled, and laid down a sacrifice bunt. Great Bend pitchers have had a little bit of trouble tonight throwing strikes. They have now issued 6 walks, and that may be their undoing if DeVore can come through with a base hit here. At one point in this frame, there was just a man at second base and 2 outs, but back-to-back walks to Young and Ingram have brought us to this spot for a veteran hitter in DeVore, who has been with this Diamond Dogs program for a couple of seasons now. Repp is going to work out of the full windup off the first base side of the rubber. And his pitch is popped up, shallow right field, drifting out on it to second baseman Barnes. He reaches, can't make the catch, but it's in foul territory. That was a heart-in-mouth moment there for everybody in this ballpark. A high, twisting foul ball down the right field line that sent Barnes, the second baseman, out and the right fielder Wilkerson in. It dropped between them, but it dropped about 2 or 3 feet to the right of the foul line.
I don't know how Barnes manages to cover as much ground as he does, but he anticipates the ball, I think, just about as good as anybody that I've seen so far in this tournament.
He can go get it. He is fun to watch out there at second base. Couldn't make that play, but all it is a strike to DeVore. Repp into the wind. Here comes the 0-1. Fouled again off to the right side. This one will easily reach the seats, and it's 0-2. Great speed out at second and Young. You figure any base hit from DeVore is likely going to give Cheney at least a 2-run lead. And Ingram no slouch on at first base either, so something in the gap or down the lines, and this could be a 3-run game. Repp ahead 0-2, winds and fires, skips it by the catcher all the way to the screen. Coming in to score is Reed, and Cheney has taken a 4-3 lead here in the 10th.
Well, it's unfortunate for Repp, but he just hung on that ball. It just stayed in his hand just way too long, and you could just see him just hook that way past the catcher.
On a no-ball, 2-strike pitch, and he threw that about 56 feet. No chance for Asher, the catcher, to do anything about it. And so now it's a 4-3 lead for the Diamond Dogs. They've got 2 huge insurance runs in scoring position. And the pressure's still on Repp to try and stop the bleeding right here. 1-2, and he skips this one back to the screen. Young's going to race in and score. It's now 5-3 Diamond Dogs. Wow, what a turn of events on 2 pitches, back-to-back pitches to the screen. And the Diamond Dogs have a 5-3 lead. Advancing to third is Ingram as the count's now 2-2.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating as a pitcher when you get up there and you know what your job is, and all of a sudden you can't get the ball out of your hand. Just looking to deliver strikes.
Repp ready with the 2-2. Ground ball foul up the third base line. Pomeroy after it, but it stays wide of the bag, and we'll do it again. You had told me that somehow somehow Cheney would have 2 runs in this frame with DeVore still at the plate. I'd have been confused as how that would happen. Asher has to slide to his right to prevent a third wild pitch as that one nearly got to the screen. And it's run full again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Repp battling his command right now. 3-2, skipped in low again, ball 4. And the Batcats pitchers have just completely lost the plot here in the top of the 10th. Runner at second base, 2 outs. It has gone walk, walk, wild pitch, walk. It's a 2-run lead for the Diamond Dogs. They've still got runners at the corners with 2 outs. And a quick meeting on the mound Asher, the catcher, and the shortstop Sims converging to try and calm down Andrew Rep.
Well, for Andrew, you've got DeVore up, who's probably been one of the hotter hitters as far as these pools have been concerned, and especially for the Diamond Dogs. But you still have to be able to make those pitches. You have to be cautious, but you still have to be able to make those pitches.
Quentin Crandall takes down an outside ball 1. One thing to take into consideration, this is probably the biggest stage that a lot of these guys have pitched on. If you're not from a big time, big name Division I program, you're more of a JUCO or Division II guy. This is a big time stage, and nerves can play a factor. There's a fastball down and away, 2 balls and no strikes. And you wonder if the nerves may be getting to Andrew Rep just a little bit. Got ahead of DeVore 0-2, and then really wasn't anywhere close with anything afterwards. Outside, 3 balls, no strikes, and I'm not sure how much longer Roger Ward can lean on his right-hander. There's a lefty loosening in the Great Bend pen, and Andrew Rep may not be long for this ballgame. 3-0 is in there at the knees. Taking all the way was Quentin Crandall, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Crandall is hitless tonight, 0 for 4, but he has been hit by a pitch that drove home a run in the 7th. There goes the runner. 3-1 is low. 4 straight walks handed out by Great Bend, and the bases are reloaded. Roger Ward's out of the dugout. Roger Ward signals to the pen. We've seen this play before, and we're going to have a new arm coming on for the Batcats. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. Cheney 5, Great Bend 3. This is the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Hello, everyone. This is the X-Man, Xavier McDaniel. I always played on a winning team, whether it was with the Shockers or in the NBA. When I look for a winning team in the insurance business, hands down, it's Bill Ball's Allstate Insurance Agency. With over 30 years of provided insurance coverage in the Wichita area, this is a slam dunk, in my opinion, of who I want on my insurance team. Give them a call today at 316-773-9864. And tell them the X-Man sent you.
Sand Creek Station Golf Club in Newton is bringing golfers together with the KGSO Special. 2 play for $50 during the month of July at Sand Creek Station. Range balls, green fees, cart, 2 play for $50 all month long at Sand Creek Station Golf Club in Newton. Sand Creek Station offers back tee overall length of 7,200 yards.
15 seconds, guys.
So you can get out and stretch your game a little bit. Set your tee time now. Call 284-6161. 284-6161. 2 play for $50 Mondays through Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays after 4. Call Sand Creek Station now and ask for the KGSO Special.
The 4th pitcher of the inning for the Great Bend Batcats has entered in the top of the 10th inning, with Cheney leading by the score of 5-3. It's left-hander Austin Pritchard, 5'11", 195 pounds, from Riverside, California, to try and clean up what has just been an absolute mess of an inning. 2 consecutive Batcat arms have failed to record an out, as Ruxlow and Rep have walked 3 straight hitters. Bases are loaded. Cheney's already got 2 runs home in the frame, and now threatening to add on. First pitch on the way is a strike to Wyatt Divis, and it's 0-1 on the Cheney designated hitter. He has singled and walked twice tonight, has scored a run. Pritchard's 0-1. Fastballs on the inside corner, 0-2, and some cheers from the Lawrence Dumont Stadium faithful, maybe just appreciative of strikes. There's been 4 consecutive walks to kind of spark the fire in this inning for Cheney. 0-2, just missed off the plate outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Both runs have crossed the plate in this 10th inning on wild pitches, both coming with Grant DeVore at the plate after he was down in an 0-2 hole. 1-2, breaking ball on the inside corner. Nice pitch by Pritchard, and he rings up Divis to retire the side. But Cheney gets a couple runs. They're now just 3 outs away from advancing to the championship week. We'll see if they can close it out in the bottom half of the 10th. They lead 5-3. This is the NBC World Series on KQAM.
Are you having trouble getting your crop out of the field due to the wet conditions? Susie Track Systems for your combine has state-of-the-art technology. Our rubber track systems places very little stress on the ground, even in extreme conditions created by muddy or wet soil, which significantly reduces soil compaction. Outstanding traction removes wheel slippage, which prevents your machine from bogging down, fuel wastage, lost time, and surface correction, which equals money wasted. Susie International has 48 years experience in the track business, and Preferred Equipment has 15 years in the egg track business. If you are interested in this kind of time, money, and field savings that we are offering with our track systems, then call Don at 620-899-8380 or 620-585-2208. Also ask about our lease options. That's Susie Track Systems. Give us a call today.
Brad Demko back out for the bottom half of the 10th inning. The left-hander will try and close out a Cheney Diamond Dogs victory. They lead by the score of 5-3 over the Great Bend Batcats. Demko has been splendid so far in relief. 4 1/3 scoreless frames. He has struck out 6 and allowed just 1 hit. But to send Cheney on to the championship, he'll have to get through the top of the order. And a penalty strike 1 has been assessed to Barnes, who was late getting into the batter's box. So that is not the way Great Bend wanted to start this 10th inning, as Barnes will be down 0-1 before he even steps in. Now Demko's pitch is a fastball that runs inside, and it's 1-1. First pitch clock violation that we have had tonight. Barnes is 1 for 4 with a single, a ground out, strikeout, and a pop out to second. Down and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Righty, lefty, righty with Barnes, Sims, and Bartlett due up. Great Bend has been held off the board since the bottom of the 5th when they put up all 3 of their runs, and now need 2 to keep their season alive. Barnes fouls it back to the screen, and it's 2-2. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Cheney. 3 runs, 5 hits, the game's only error committed by Great Bend. 2-2. Big breaking ball stays outside. Demko wanted it. Whistler held it there. But Greg Harmon disagrees. 3 balls and 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter for Great Bend. And here comes a fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Demko delivers. Little bouncer out towards second base. DeVore charging in. Field's going to have to get rid of it. Throws. Not in time. And I think DeVore was maybe a little bit too casual jogging in to get that baseball, and you just can't do that against a guy like Barnes with his speed.
Yeah, and you got to read that ball right off the bat, and when it goes straight down, if it bounces off the plate, that probably gets to you just a little bit faster, but it bounced just right off the edge of the black and just didn't manage to catch enough, didn't have enough speed to get out there to DeVore, and like you said, he plays a little bit deeper. He still managed to cover quite a bit of ground.
Sims, first pitch swinging, fouls it back. Below us, no balls and a strike. So Sims represents the potential tying run. He has already hit into 1 double play tonight, however, is 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored back in the 5th. The 0-1. Fly ball out into left field. Kennard has it measured in and towards the line. Still running as the wind knocks it down, and he makes a snow cone catch. The wind absolutely taking effect on that high fly ball out to left by Sims, and Kennard turned what looked like a routine play into a sprinting play just in fair territory.
It kind of looked like that ball was going to hold up just a little bit, but like you said, Kennard was just kind of gliding in and then all of a sudden realized it's dying. Time to get in there and get the quail.
So now it's Corrigan Bartlett. Chopping ground ball up the middle. Not going to be 2. Going to be a tough play. Crandall, did he throw it? No, he ate it. He pumped me out. A pump fake as he elected not to throw that ball to first base. It'll be an infield single for Bartlett. That puts 2 aboard with 1 out in the frame for Hunter Romero. That's a heck of a ball fake right there from Quentin Crandall.
I think we've seen him really unload the ball so far tonight, and I think we expected the exact same thing there. I think the entire secondary was biting on that one.
He got me on the play action. I'm burned over the top, no doubt about it. Romero now represents the potential winning run. Demko deals. A fastball in the outside corner, called strike one. Some cries of protest from the Batcats dugout and the Great Bend faithful. First and second, one out. Tying run aboard. Winning run at the plate, 5-3. Cheney in front. 0-1. Up and outside, ball on the strike. Albertus Barber is still loosening in the Diamond Dogs pen. Should Demko run into any more trouble here in this bottom of the 10th, he has been about as good as you could possibly ask for in relief. 1-1, lashed foul. When he has absolutely needed to, he is stuck with the bread and butter. Hard fastballs typically elevated in the strike zone. And for the most part, Great Bend has not been able to get on top of anything. Their base hits in this inning, both of the infield variety. One a slow chopper to second, one out to short. There go the runners. 1-2, fouled off. That is the definition of bold right there, to put the potential tying run in motion. But that is the way that Great Bend has approached this entire season. They are aggressive on the paths. 51 stolen bases this year for the Batcats in 64 tries. Another 1-2. Breaking ball is grounded foul. We'll do it again.
Romero has managed to get the bat on the ball tonight, so taking a chance and maybe moving both runners at the same time, you're kind of playing some averages there. And right now, you don't have a lot that's really in your favor. You got a bullpen that's completely depleted, and you've got some runners on right now, and Fontenot coming up after Romero, so you got to get something started.
There goes one runner and another foul back. Fastball down and inside. Romero continues to fight. 3 two-strike foul balls in this at-bat. Brennan Fontenot waits in the on-deck circle. 5-3. The Cheney Diamond Dogs just 2 outs away from advancing to championship week. A double play right here could end it. Something in the gap could tie it. Something over the wall would win it. Inside move, slipping and falling before retreating to the second base bag is Barnes. First inside move we've seen from Demko, and he had Barnes, but nobody flashed in behind him. So here we go again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Fastball foul tipped into the mid of Whistler. Strikeout number 7 for Brad Demko. And Cheney 1 out away.
It was a big swing by Romero, and he's been right on just about every pitch that Demko had thrown up there, just wasn't able to make contact.
So it's a left-on-left matchup here. Brad Demko against Brennan Fontenot, who has singled, popped out to third twice, and struck out. He flies it out into deep center field. Young racing back on it. Looks like he's got a beat on it, and he makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Cheney Diamond Dogs trailed at 1.3-0. They rally all the way back to force extra innings and win it with 2 in the top of the 10th.